Bat out now to Hanamura.
Hanamura indeed. All right, so oddly enough, we'll see what they want to run here on defense. Yeah, that's actually exactly what I thought they'd be doing. It's been a while since I said, like, I think they will run a Mei here, but Mei on defense here is phenomenal, just as there's really only one good doorway to put your team through. Everyone's going to have to come through there unless you have verticality, so the Mei there is just really good. So Tavik is going to be running that Mei. Unko will play the Zenyatta. Zarya will be played by Wins. AKM on nothing less than his McCree. Nox will play Lucio. Reinforce on his Reinhardt.
We've lost Uber. Rip Uber. Of course, it's pretty darn late over in Germany. He will be rejoining us tomorrow. Once again, props out to Uber. Great cast earlier today. And now, as we set for the finals, we will see how this Mei gambit works here. Mei, of course, has been doing pretty well on Hanamura today. We even saw Hanamura on offense once, where people use the ice wall to go through this top window. So, lots of Mei play today. Shall see if it works out. But take a look at the defense in its totality. Here for Rogue, it's going to be Unko on the Zenyatta, Wins on Zarya, AKM on McCree, Tavik on the Mei, Nox on Lucio, and Reinforce on what else but Reinhardt.
Alright, so really what you're going to want to look for here is the first push. Does it get cut in half? That is Tavik's job primarily. Whoever comes in first will be putting a wall behind them. A lot of times it's the tank, but we did have a Pharah there. Now Unfixed did switch, excuse me.
Unfixed is saying he does not want to go with the fair right now, and Reunited, they're just setting up, trading off poke, and very aware of Mei. Going forward here, they don't want to get split off. They rush right in. The Mei wall does come in right away, and it's first kill here, the Rogue, as they do give Reunited some trouble as they rush in. Now Kib is split off. They're already down one person. There's 4 people going in over the top here, and we'll see if this works out for United, but they very well could get pincered in.
Yeah, so it's a really nice angle of approach from the offense, able to take this high ground set behind the Reinhardt shield too. It's one of the more interesting approaches I've seen on Hanamura as everyone moves through their kind of piecemeal, piece by piece. Wins does take down Morte though to begin this fight.
The problem is they're so split off in a group of 2 and a group of 4. Kib and Morte both go down, and there's still 4 people just hanging out over here. This is all sorts of awkward right now for Reunited. This is hardly the ideal opening. They're hoping to recover it, but Rogue is playing smart. They're keeping them split off. They're not letting them regroup, and this is kind of a problem. At some point, I wonder, when do they just eat the death?
I don't think they ever will, actually. They're going for it now. Here comes the Deadeye trying to come in from Volskaya. The problem is, like, as you said, they're up there, but they're not doing anything. They're not getting any damage done. They do finally collapse onto the bottom, but AKM takes down both Cruz and Winghaven, effectively ending that push, and what should be just a mercy slaughter. They needed to reset that a while ago.
Well, finally, Reunited is reunited. They are no longer split from one side to the other. Their team name taking on a whole new meaning. But look at the defense. Because of all that shenanigans, they have 6 ultimates up now. This could go from bad to worse right now for Reunited. Here comes a Graviton. 3 people sucked right in. I think Tavik's gonna hold the weather report right now. Gonna save the Blizzard, go right to the back, get on the Morte, and this is gonna be another full wipe here in favor of Rogue. And for Reunited, they're slowly starting to run out of time. There's really going to be one big fight here where it's going to be ult versus ult, but if Rogue can win that fight, they might win Hanamura very quickly.
Yeah, eyes on Unfixed here, as that is probably going to be their best shot at initiation. Winghaven does not have his ultimate up, so a counter Graviton, knowing that they just use a Graviton of their own on the defense, should be a good one there. Maybe get this Death Blossom in. They got just a lot of options.
Blizzard coming in. Blizzard, of course, bigger AoE. Volskaya, though, immediately shuts down Tavik. Even though he's a popsicle, the Sound Bearer going to keep him alive here. Unco does take down Cruz, 5v5. Still opportunities here for Reunited. They're winning this ult showdown to start things off here. They still have ults in reserve as Kib gonna move it forward. Death Blossom at the ready, looking to go in, up and to the left, just waiting for the right opportunity. Speed Boost is in, Speed Boost is out. And here comes the Earth Shower, though, from Reinforce. Will that be enough? Charges right in, doesn't get the pin. And Reunited still doing a decent amount of work here as Kib finally unleashes Death Blossom, takes down 2. And it's looking like Reunited will be adding extra time and getting this point.
They are going to grab this. One of the problems is that Unco should not have been the one who had to clean up that mess in the beginning. He should not have been the one up front to take down Cruz. It put him in a terrible position where he was able to be cleaned up immediately following. So even though the Blizzard came through, it did force the supports into a strange position. They had to fight that entire time without Unco, and losing your Zenyatta really hurts like that.
Alrighty, so taking a look here, we do have Winghaven moving right in on the front line. Does have Earth Shatter at the ready. And REUNITED, AKM from the side, immediately takes him out, has a double kill, looking for a little bit more, has Deadeye in reserve, but might not even need to use it here. Very much content to play Duck Hunt, left-clicking people with not a whole lot of pressure on him, and that's going to be another hold here from Rogue. So Rogue making REUNITED work for it, and once more, banking up ults.
Yeah, they got some really nice defensive ults. Pretty much everything going on for them. If Unco finds another target, he'll be able to get Transcendence up momentarily, but everyone else with their ultimates loaded here, so it's going to be... it would behoove REUNITED to try to do a junk rush here and just try to bait out as much as humanly possible. Voltage and Winghaven switch, so they know they are going to have a huge ult disadvantage going in next, so I would not be surprised to see them try to just pressure out some ultimates from Rogue.
That is their best case scenario. There's almost no way they're going to win this fight, barring just the most ridiculous collapse ever. But they can drain some ultimates. And speaking of ults, Wins is going to be able to open here with a Graviton. Winston leaps right in on him. He's going to wait for it. Soundbearer now out here from Rogue, and they're going to use it to rush right in. And we'll see if they throw anything else after that. The Blizzard and Soundbearer used thus far. They get 2 kills. And as a result, I think Wins is just going to hold on to this.
AKM again showing up huge in that kill feed with a couple kills of his own to Vic. Throws in some icicles so that he is not left out on his own. Kib, though, does take out 2 at the end, so pretty nice for them to even get those trades. They're going to need another rush like that just to get on even footing. Did not really drain too much out of the side of Rogue. Of course, Blizzard and Sound Barrier down, but Blizzard should be charging up momentarily.
That was good managing from Rogue on the ult economy side of things. They figured, okay, we're just going to burn Blizzard, we're going to burn Sound Barrier, and that's it. And that's all they needed. Kib did get a lot of value in terms of just building up ult towards the end. We'll have Dragon Blade up soonish, but probably shouldn't use it in this fight. Wins is going to open up here with the Graviton here in just a second, waiting for it. Doesn't use it there. Could have used it. Figuring they can use it a little bit later. And here comes the counter Graviton. Unfixed moving in. Here comes the pulse bomb for Voltage. 3 people taken out by the Wombo combo. But Rogue fighting right back, but might not be enough. Kib, late Dragon Blade to the fight, takes out another 2. And REUNITED might just have this.
It's going to be close. Pulse Bomb and Dragon Blade did a ton of work in that fight, but here comes the stall out. Wins is going to come up on the Diva with a great stall out character. Nox is still alive too, so even though this is ticking on by, they have yet to get a third, so every death here is pretty permanent. So hard to reinforce this point. Winghaven's coming in late, but I don't think REUNITED's going to have this at all.
No, not in the least. AKM able to move in, gets the 2 kills, moving forward. Morte, not long for this world, is just going to get taken out, and that was some brilliant cleanup there coming from AKM. Got on the Tracer, got what he needed to get, and will even have a Pulse Bomb up if he doesn't swap. He might be swapping back here, though.
Yeah, so $150 left on that clock. Winghaven will have his ults up next, but that is all that is going for REUNITED. And like, they're gonna have to push in a Blizzard. That's kind of just how teams are gonna have to worry about it. Whenever there's a Mei on the field, you have to assume you're pushing into Blizzard. It charges that quickly. She does enough damage that it's not that big of a problem. Valataja comes and tries to get that poke, but this one's gonna be a pretty basic fight.
It's gonna be a basic fight, but they're also sort of locked in there. Rogue is fully aware of where they're at. You see them backing up, but they get 2 kills. As a result, Rogue making mistakes here. REUNITED with the early strike. Tavik going up, Blizzard on the way. We'll see if REUNITED can get out of there in time, but Reinforce able to clean up off of that. Hits 2 people that jumped right down, and Rogue certainly not out of this yet. Capitalizing on what was a bad beginning.
Yeah, a nice Transcend to deal with that Blizzard too, as she caught 3 up there, but Transcend completely negates that. A really late Graviton, but it was looking nice so far. He's got to be careful, Unfixed does, because he is discorded, but both tanks still trying to get some damage on the point. Volskaya needs to join into this fray momentarily to really start bringing the damage.
Dragon Blade now coming out from Kib. Kib looking to put this one away, has 1 kill, looking for more, slicing in the Reinforce. That armor is awfully tough though, as Reinforce drops the hammer, gets a kill on Kib. Big fire strike to finish it out. And AKM should get the remaining fall through. And now you take a look at REUNITED. They are down to 30 seconds to try and take point B, and it is not looking good, ult-wise or otherwise.
No, last push is not going to be one that they want to make. Maybe Cruz gets there with a Sound Barrier. I think that's their best bet. Send him in on the front lines, get a couple of those shots in so that he has Sound Barrier, and then just hope for it. But they are pushing into 4 defensive ults, and really good defensive ults at that.
Weak right now, just buying time. We'll have Blizzard up and at the right moment. Kib in rough shape will get taken right down. 2 quick kills here from Rogue, and this last gasp effort here by REUNITED looking like it's going to fall to the wayside. Lots of tools in Rogue's kit that just push this back. REUNITED not giving up just yet, but here comes the Blizzard.
Yeah, Blizzard affects a very large area. That is an enormous circle on the ground, just not enough alive, not enough counter to that, as they are unable to finish the second point. Pretty solid defense. Is Mei here to stay?
Mei certainly seems to be here to stay on the 2 CP maps, but more than that, she's been getting used more in general. The buffs certainly help her. Changes in the meta have helped overall as well, so... And also teams just being more willing to experiment, so all in all, it's a good patch for Mei from what it seems, both map-wise and otherwise.
It makes a lot of people really happy and a lot of people very sad. She is a divisive character, to say the least. So yeah, she's definitely been in it. Even on maps like Numbani, she definitely finds a place to play in the game. We'll see. You know, if this team can come back and take the second point, that's all they have to do. It's a pretty easy win condition. But Hanamura has been a map that a lot of teams have struggled with last. These 2 control point maps the last point is infinitely more difficult than the first point.
Alrighty, so we are setting up here once more. We will get to see just what the defense of REUNITED is going to be. And Hex, there's a lot of pressure now on this REUNITED defense, given what they did on their attack. They have basically no margin for error here. And their best chance of winning is actually doing the full point hold on point A, which we have not seen here really all that often. So the odds are long here for REUNITED, but hey, we thought the odds were long for them earlier in the day as well. Right. And we'll see if they can turn it back in their favor. But not the best opening, to say the least.
Well, I think definitely on defense, I think you'll see this until someone proves there's a better way to do it. But you're going to see a defensive Mei, just as I mentioned, because that ice wall is the same size as that door, makes it just really hard to aggress into it, and they pretty much have to time their pushes with a cooldown. So Kib's going to play that Mei, but we do have a pharmacy combo on the side of Rogue as Tavik is back on his Pharah, so that should negate some of the ice wall utility. Other than that, looking somewhat standard here. It looks like a pretty aggressive comp from Rogue, no surprise there.
The cool thing about Rogue here, of course, is that it will be the Pharah that's getting played. We've talked about it a lot. We've seen it earlier in the game. We'll see if Tavik can work his magic once more. Had some really good Pharah assaults earlier in the day. And it's just good to see her back in play in general, where sure he has to go up against the defensive McCree here, but not Discord Orb isn't quite as strong. It's not as bad. Skies have opened up for Pharah, and Tavik right to the backline, almost killing Voltage to start things off, and Voltage will survive. Harmony Orb keeps him up. Tavik goes down. 2 quick kills here for REUNITED.
It was a beautiful entry by Rogue there. They got their 3 in on the bottom, and they got walled out afterwards, but they had everyone they wanted to in. Then they just lost their duels one-on-one. Yeah, so it wasn't necessarily the Mei wall that kept them out. They got in exactly the position they wanted to get in, were able to pick the fights that they wanted. They just ended up losing those fights. So it wasn't a problem of tactics or strategy, just mechanics lost them that first round.
All right, so defense is reestablished here. Offense setting up once more. And again, this is one of those things where is only 4 minutes to take point A. Rogue cannot rest easy. We'll see if they can take this here. They do have a res in reserve, but they lose Nox immediately. Going to be a 65. Unco can undo that damage. Winghaven goes down, but unfixed. Doing the work here in the back. 2 quick kills says Reaper going in and wins. Gets the triple kill. And Unco, if he's going to be looking for the res, he's going to have to do it soon. Heroes never die. They're coming right back up. But let's take a look at Unfixed. Has the Death Blossom. Goes for more. Gets one. Will get melted down, but Hex, the damage has been done.
Yeah, very decent Death Blossom, as they didn't show up huge in the kill feed. He did take down Tavik with it, though, but then did so much damage to the remaining heroes as well. So a couple of cleanup kills off that Death Blossom that he won't get for. Now only 3 on the offense. Nox goes down again to Kib. I think that was a long-range Icicle.
This would be heartbreaking for Rogue to go in, have such a good defense on B, and then to potentially lose here without capping point A. But right now, REUNITED is keeping that possibility alive. Icewall going to come in, going to split people off as Kib moving in, and Blizzard could be dropped here in just a moment.
Yeah, the tank fight goes on for a very long time, but Reinforce able to get out with his life somehow. Voltage taking out AKM to start this fight too. They've just lost crucial players on every entry.
All right, well, here we go. Kib is going to be dropping this Blizzard here any moment, looking for Nox. Winghaven able to get the charge kill on the wins, and REUNITED, they're persevering right now. Tavik, Justice Ring from above, gets absolutely nothing off of that barrage. But 2 kills do come in here for Rogue towards the end. They're getting right into the point. They force out the Transcendence right away, and here comes the Blizzard. Will it freeze Unco down? It will kill Unco, but not before the res comes out. And Rogue, with their best opportunity, they need to win this right here, right now. Unfixed, though, coming in. Death Blossom at the ready. Kills 2, and REUNITED might be holding on here. If they do that, the window might be shutting here on Rogue.
Kib continues to impress. We always just wondered, like, he's a good Genji, and that'll be fine for them as long as the meta doesn't change, but he has hit some insane Icicles this game. Like, the one there late on Tracer, of course, a headshot Icicle on Tracer will pretty much eliminate her, too, so he's playing really, really well on this her. And also, we've talked about Unfixed before. Probably the most improved player in all of Overwatch for the last 6 months, and he continues to get better.
Deadeye coming out here, and Volskaya, patience paying off. Tavik down to start this fight. Graviton Surge comes in from Wins, but he's missing his big gun in Tavik. And Reunited, they bend, they do not break. And Cruz might be dropping the sound barrier here. He's breaking it down. He's lost 2, though, right before it hits. Might have been too little here. And Reunited in a bit of a pickle as they try and hold this back. It's 4v4 in the point, and they're in some trouble.
Yeah, they're definitely in trouble. Cruz takes on Nox, though, which is nice. Oh, Cruz takes on Unko, too, just cleaning up the supports by himself. He is going to die unless he skates around this wall.
No, he's not.
Did you get up?
He pulled it right back. Cruz, the hero right now. Volskaya coming in, the cleanup. And ladies and gentlemen, Reunite is holding on. 8 seconds left here. Takes out AKM. Is the hold going to happen? The Blizzard is out. Rogue is stumbling. They're fumbling. 1 second is remaining. And that's going to be a hold from Reunited. I can't believe this, Hex.
Cruz with their heroics, though. I mean, he killed both supports with a nice couple edge plays, was able to stay alive with a crazy skate off the wall, comes back in late in that fight. And also, I mean, Kib's May was just really, really good. And it's not only the blizzards and everything that anyone can hit. His long-range icicles were nuts.
All right, for a second I thought that was May, but nope, just Winter Zarya. Not all winter coat wearing people are the same, but Wings comes in here, Graviton comes out, and that's just a beautiful Graviton. I feel like just the last few weeks have been banner days for Zarya play.
I think Zarya is finally getting noticed as the key cog that she has always been. I've always felt she's the most powerful and most essential player to run in composition, so we'll have to see when the meta reports come out what her pick rate is, but it should be near about 100%.
Alrighty, well, that was map number 1 of the grand finals in the bag, but remember, Reunited came in with a 1-game advantage because of where they came in from the upper bracket, so for them, they're 1 map away from taking it all, and for Reunited, a team that sometimes struggles when put in the situation, that would be huge.
Yeah, I think they really don't want to end up playing more games. Like, they just lock it out. Let's do it before it gets into our heads. Let's do it before we think about it. Let's not think that it's a finals. Let's just win it and get it over with. And yeah, we'll see what map that Rogue wants to take them to. But, you know, we talked about it with Uber, that Reunited's a hard team to kind of map plan around. They don't really have a weak map, a map that you would like, well, we'll definitely win this one against them. And a lot of the maps that Rogue likes to play, those assault maps, Reunited is very schooled on.
Absolutely. And again, the other cool thing about Reunited as well is that, again, I don't think they really planned it out this way, but just by being together for so long and playing in so many tournaments, they've found themselves on off maps probably more often than any other team in the game historically. They were playing Hanamura before it was cool.
Well, was Hanamura ever cool? But I see your point. They've always been pushed to these weird maps. I remember just so many weird things that has happened to Reunited. I think a little more than a month ago, Reunited was undefeated on Ilios because we'd only seen them play there twice. That was before people started playing Ilios. But for some reason, Reunited was the team that always had to go play Ilios. And before that, it was Hanamura. I remember casting just 3-hour-long games when they had to play Volskaya because for some reason, teams kept taking Reunited to Volskaya. So this is a team that you cannot throw off. They cannot be confused. They've seen it all before. They are seasoned old veterans, as veteran as Overwatch gets.
So I don't know what tournament it is offhand. You'd have to go way back, but there was a tournament in where there was still hero stacking, as you could have more one the same hero. It was right when it came back in. And it was on Volskaya. Yeah. I think it involved Fnatic. And it was just one of the most ridiculous games I think we have ever seen ever. It was like double divas, just at one point triple diva. It was probably the most bizarre clown fiesta Volskaya game we've ever seen. We will never see its like again, but anytime I think of Volskaya, just think of that. And it was a long while back. You could probably find it, but
I think it was a weekly. I think it was EU 14. I barely remember it because my brain broke after that Volskaya map because it was like the last match of the night and we'd already been casting for 8 hours and then Volskaya went on forever. And then I'm saying things like, oh yeah, this is just the standard triple diva dive. Like, that's not supposed to happen. I'm not supposed to say stuff like that. So
the Mecha Defense Force trying to take out Robo Godzilla, or so Diva's lore goes. I mean, that's basically Diva's lore, is that there's a big unit of mecha soldiers that are there to deal with Mecha Godzilla. It's called something else, but that's basically what it is.
Yeah, well, copyrights do exist, so yeah, gotta call
Yeah,
it
I mean, they
out.
can't say Godzilla, just a very Godzilla-like monster that does not conflict with the Godzilla copyright. Heaven forbid. Right now, we are waiting for Morte to come back in. He was crashing, and hopefully he'll be back in just a moment. That would just be Reunited's luck, where, oh, they're about to win a grand final. They're doing really well. By the way, Morte's computer died. Well, he's right back in, so I think it was someone else who might have been rebooting. Winghaven? Of course, Winghaven.
Why would you even ask?
Why is it even a question? Of course Winghaven is the person for Reunited that's not in.
Well, that's just kind of the way of things. At least we'll probably be able to finish the finals tonight. It's been a rough life in esports trying to get these tournaments in as patches come in, as internets go down, as powers go down, so things like that. But make sure if you guys are enjoying the tournament today to tune in tomorrow. We'll be starting, I believe, at 3 Eastern. Am I right there? Yeah.
You are correct.
3 Eastern tomorrow for the GosuGamers NA. You can get your copy paste ready. The coupon code will be GGNA18, I'm sure, for Matcherino. So yeah, I don't know exactly what teams are signed up. I suppose I could look, but I'm going to keep myself in suspense. But we're doing the same format. If you have ideas about the format, if you like it, hate it, or are in between, exclamation point poll. We'll link you to our GosuGamers feedback. If you've been watching the stream for a while, you know that feedback is not just nonsensical. We take it all to heart. We have changed this tournament format many times for viewers and teams. We are flexible, adjustable, as it were. So leave us your feedback. Let us know what you think. I, for one, am really digging it right now. The open 8, the seeded 8. It seems like a good mix of things.
Well, it's one of those things where it encourages top-level teams to play a little bit more, because a lot of teams, they do have strict scrim schedules. A lot of the teams that are playing here today, as soon as they were out or even as they finish the grand finals, they have more scrim scheduled. So it's one of those things where open tournament can be pretty grinding, especially in weeks where we get something like, 64, 128 times, and all the rest. And by the way, on the same note, if you have a team, you can still sign up for the NA Weekly tomorrow. And you can pretty much be assured of some good games. You don't have to worry about running into Cloud9 in the very beginning, because if they sign up, they're going to be automatically seeded up. It's going to be a true open until the round of 16. Then the newer teams get to strut their stuff.
Yeah, and I think it's fair for the newer teams, and it's fair for the veteran teams too. I think it works out best for both of them, and we're trying to run it so it doesn't take us 12 hours to get through a tournament. It is still about like 8, which is totally fine. So yeah, your open team will just crush all the other open teams until you have to face off one of the big boys, and then you have another shot at it too, since you get to go down to the lower bracket. So so far, and we'll see if there's any problems, and I'll check in with teams and players, etc., like I always do after these tournaments, and see how it went. But so far, I'm really digging it, and we are back in game.
We are back in game indeed, and let's just take a look at the teams coming up tomorrow. We'll actually get to see the debut of the new Tempo Storm team, basically Northern Gaming Red plus extras, Splice, Complexity, Method. Lots of good teams signed up for tomorrow.
Who's the 6th on that team?
I have no earthly idea. I mean, they have Dvex on the roster right now, but I'm pretty sure Dvex is not actually playing for them.
I'm going to be nice. But yeah, Dvex is their manager for the most part. I've played with Dvex. I don't think he's going to be playing with them. Pretty decent Lucio. But
tell us how you really feel about Dvex here, Axe. That felt pretty rude.
Yeah, well, like, I've been talking to Dvex all day on Skype, and he's been putting me on blast and nitpicking me, so this is where it all comes to roost.
All right, so you fight him back where he can't fight back for himself. Yeah. Wow, Hex.
Well,
wow.
That's when I can abuse my position as a caster. I have a venue to speak, and he does not. He can only nitpick me personally in Skype, and I can just blast him to everyone else in the world. No, Dvex is great. I honestly don't know who that 6th is going to be on the Tempo Storm roster. I've been talking to both Dvex and Noodle a little bit about like who they're going to put on that team. Added some recommendations. We'll see. It could be super interesting who their 6th is, but for now, I think they're just still doing tryouts. But yeah, that's great that Tempo Storm's going to be playing tomorrow. They were going to do Alienware, but had to bail at the last second. Anything you see in this current game that gives you pause?
Well, taking a look here at the rosters, looks pretty much standard unless I am blind. Kib, of course, will be on the Mei, and why not? Kib's been playing a great Mei all day long, and we'll see if Rogue is wise to it. I do think teams are going to get better at dealing with Mei wall-offs and all the rest as time goes on, but Reinforce right now could get walled off if he's not careful. Rose's team with him, they're going to go into the hotel. Reinforce are kind of off on an island. We'll see how this works out. He's really low HP, has to charge all the way to the back as Voltaja going to get first pick off on the Tavik.
Yeah, that's really good to take Tvik down early. So Unfix is going to actually combine as well, takes down Reinforce. This push is all but over, trying to escape his wins. There's a wall, there's a Fire Strike, no escape. Ultimate advantage is going to be firmly in the favor of Reunited. And as you mentioned, just to remind people, this is set map for Reunited. They win this, they win it all.
Alrighty, so, and one thing I want to note there is that for Rogue, I feel like they got really discombobulated there. Half went onto the point, half went into the hotel. I feel you got to commit one way or the other, or have a really, really good flanking step, which they did not have there, and go against a team like Reunited. You're just not going to get with it. As AKM pokes too hard, Morte gets the first pick off, and here comes the defense just rolling right in. Volskaya laying in the shots from behind, and they're just going to finish this out. Nothing the offense can do now.
Yeah, Wynn's trying to escape yet again, trying to get his poke, and Wynn's is trying to run that delicate balance of getting your poke in and then not dying, because he died in the last retreat on the way out. So, again, it is going to be pretty tough for them to push in. A junk rush or two might be in order here just to try to even things up. They're going to rotate through Hotel here, the best positioning they've had so far.
Soundbearer coming in here from the defense, so they're going to roll right back into this. Winghaven holding on to the Earth Shatter, waiting for his opportunity. Unfix has already picked off one. May ult is out, and things are getting awfully chilly here. Wins smashed against the wall. 3 kills here from the side of Reunited. And Hex, I mean, we already saw one first point hold on Hanamura a little bit earlier. Is it crazy to think that there's a chance that Reunited could do this here again?
Well, Rogue has shown nothing to the contrary at this point. They're not really getting it. They're not trading out with these kills either. But we are going to enter the ultimate phase, at least for Rogue, as Reinforce and Nox will have their ultimates to go. Unco's got his up as well. They're going to be pushing into similar ultimates on the other side. But so far, yeah, you're right. It's been all Reunited. A first hold does not look out of the realm of possibility.
Unfix is holding on to Death Blossom here. He's going to wait about 2-3 seconds, wait for the Sound Bearer, the fade, and now he's going to go right in. Here comes the Death Blossom directly into the backline, stymied by the Transcendence somewhat. It's 2 for 2. That's not the best value Death Blossom, and Tvik right now can crack this wide open. Has a Death Blossom, lots of good HP. He's just going to chase down Cruz here. Cruz will fall, and this should be Rogue's point now. They're able to get through with 1:27 left.
Yeah, it took everything that they had. A really nice Transcendence there. I don't even know if he saw the Reaper or was just going to hit it by himself anyway, but regardless, it did end up negating the majority of that, and that was going to be a game-ending ultimate from Unfixed Reaper there. So really nice Transcendence from Unco there, who's been playing a nice Zenyatta for most of the time. They do get it with about 90 seconds left, 3:30 to get through the streets. Right now, biggest ults up are going to be Graviton and Blizzard with some offensive ultimates to combo with both.
Now, the interesting thing for Kib here is whether or not he'll stay on the Mei after using Blizzard. He doesn't want to switch now that he has Blizzard, but after this, he might swap out. I don't know if he's going to go full Michael 3D, but here comes Tvik off the flank, takes out 2 immediately. Was not seen to start things out. Kib, though, does cut him off. It's a 2-for-1 trade. And look at this ice wall. It's going to try to protect from the Graviton, but is not all that successful in the end.
No, they continue to just stomp on through. There is going to be a Blizzard up. We'll see if Kib stays on this Mei. I think that Blizzard being up is enough to entice him to do so. Morty is going to have Transcendence as well, but so far they've just been unable to chain kills together, getting 1 and 2 here and there. The next giant engagement is going to come at third bend, but after that really nice first point defense, they have just had no defense to speak of.
Oh man, the huge Blizzard coming out once again. Mei's ult, all sorts of scary right now. Zones everyone back and let's Reunited reestablish here on the point. They didn't get any kills off that, but that's entirely worth. And Hex, they have both support ults up, so next fight actually looking pretty darn good for Reunited, especially if Winghaven can open up a big Earth Shatter. Earth Shatter comes down, read them like a book! That's a 3 knockdown Earth Shatter. Not quite the follow-up is there though, as Reunited still in some trouble. AKM rounding up the back.
Yeah, kind of odd that the follow-up wasn't there because everyone was in decent position to be able to follow it up. They just did not go target the people who were on the ground in the back lines. I think they wanted to make sure they got the opposing Reinhardt down. That was their first priority, but the 3 remaining on the ground were not targeted at all. No cleanup, and they're going to get this point.
If you're Winghaven, are you a little bit mad at your team after that?
Oh yeah, I'm totally mad at my team. That was a money Earth Shatter, and it's not like people were just spawning and not up there. There were a couple that they just weren't focusing on the very vulnerable targets. They had their DPS up there.
Alright, so offense is keeping moving forward. They've made up for lost time. 3 minutes left in their time bank, and Rogue, they get through here now. This is actually super respectable. Reunited a bit on the ropes, and Kib, he's still staying on the Mei. He's not switching off for any reason. We have a Blizzard warding, and it's going to come out here in just a moment.
Well, here comes a really ambitious Death Blossom through the back lines. He had the barrier as well, but Death Blossom, just one of those ults I mentioned, just very hard to hit lately. Tavik gets nothing out of it. He ends up getting taken down. Does force the Blizzard out at the very least, but I think just his positioning, I expected a lot more out of that Death Blossom. Really nice reactions out of Reunited there to stymie it.
So, Reunited holding firm, and let's take a look at Unfixed once more. He is in the top position, does have Death Blossom at the ready. No Transcendence, no Sound Barrier up, and oh no, here we go. Hexy goes right in, over the top, off the top rope, into Nox. Takes him out, but decent response. Doesn't quite get as much as he wants, but here comes Volskaya off the flank. Does take out Unco. 4v4 right now, as the Earth Shatter connects and reinforce, and will that be enough?
Yeah, Tavik is coming in here. He is 2v1 right now, but Wins is cleaning up people on his Zarya beams. He takes down Winghaven, takes down Cruz. They are in great position here. They've got 4 on the cart. There's going to be 4 coming out. This is going to be an undermanned battle here. But Cabe going down immediately. That allows them to take it. $1:48 left on that clock.
Yeah, minute 48 remaining, not the worst coming out from Rogue. More than anything else, it was just a great comeback where they were suffering on point A. Reunited came way too close to actually getting the full hold there, but luckily for Rogue, they were able to bring it through, and now we have some drama, we have some tension going into round number 2.
I mean, maybe I'm over-speaking here, but I feel like Death Blossom is the first ultimate I've seen that teams have just learned 100% how to counter. It has been a rough couple days for Reapers to really get value out of their Death Blossom. And what we used to see Death Blossoms turning into 3 or 4 kills, at best now Reapers are getting 2, and that's only if they're completely not spotted, they're at full health, and they get a Zarya bubble. So it just seems like one of those ults that has taken teams a while to figure out, but it seems like the first ults that Overwatch teams have just figured out as how to counter it.
We will have to see, but take a look here at the defense as it rolls out here. Looks like it's going to be more of the same. It's going to be reinforced here on the Reinhardt. Nox on Lucio, AKM on McCree, Tavik going to be on the Mei, Wins on Zarya, and Unco on the Zenyatta. So again, if you're a fan of Mei this patch, it's a good patch. A lot of players going all the way back to the beginning of Comp Overwatch since Mei has been added to the game goes, where's Mei? Why is Mei not being played? Well, Mei is now being played to great effect by a great deal of teams, so welcome to the meta.
Well done. Well done on that setup. I didn't see it coming at all. Well played. You know, they haven't really changed too much with her. I think their teams really wanted to run her, and that their most recent patch just buffed her enough to give them that last like nudge towards it. Because we saw her trickled in and peppered in certain compositions on certain maps before, but now with yeah, the Blizzard being as large as it is and just like such an impactful thing that you can launch through a shield, that was the last nudge they needed to justifiably run Mei.
Alright, so offensive Reunited now in the way, Unfixed back on his trusting Pharah. We'll see if there's any rust on it one way or another as he just moves in, Mercy at his back. And Unfixed right now, definitely a little bit troll. AKM lands a pretty good poke to start things out. Zarya in his face, and Reunited having some trouble going in here to start things out.
Yeah, Cruz goes down too, and you've always mentioned how bad it is to lose your Lucio as the first pick in a fight. AKM then takes down Volskaya. This push is effectively over. It's just a matter of Winghaven's going to die or not. He does.
AKM was able to suppress the Pharah there to start things out, landed all the poke he needed, and if you want evidence of that, look at his ult. He's going to have Deadeye up for the next fight, and even though McCree ult charges pretty quickly, to get it up that quickly, it's pretty impressive. It means that he absolutely brought it to Reunited, and Reunited going through this could be trouble on the next push.
Yeah, they're going to have Barrage up, though, which is always the interesting thing. It's such a hard ultimate to hit and get big value out of, especially soloing, too. So maybe Unfixed does one of these really cool concussion jumps all the way to the back line and tries to surprise them for that angle. Winghaven dying early. Reinforced being down is huge. Unfixed has the green light to go. There's the Barrage.
3 kills coming in from Reunited. They're moving right in. Volskaya able to land the picks he was looking for there. And right now, Mei, one of the last ones remaining, does get taken out by the flashbang. And this is going to be Reunited going through. Definitely saying a bit of a quicker time to start things off here. But as we saw earlier today, even if you have a time lead towards the end in payload now, it doesn't matter. You still have to have an equally good performance on your second run through.
Yeah, absolutely. But the big kill there for me was Reinforced going down to Winghaven. So that, like I said, just gives the green light for the Barrage. Unfixed does not have to worry about wasting it into a Reinhardt shield. Able to get a ton of damage off of it. They clean it up afterwards. Tavik did his best to stall out, but simply not enough but the defense is in decent position to hold around this next bend. They've got 3 ults of their own, 3 ults on the offense, so we're firmly entering the Q stage of the game.
Voltaja opening up the Deadeye, connects with 2 right away. AKM with the counter Deadeye, gets on Voltaja, but still a better trade here from REUNITED. And here comes the defense, rolling right in with Transcendence. This is high risk, high reward. If they don't get what they're looking for here, it's gonna backfire horribly. Graviton does come in, and they're fully committed right now. They do get Winghaven, but I'm not sure about this, Hex. It's not really delaying the offense by that much.
No, not really. Reinforced shield does crack too. I think they're going to chase him down. They are. Kib tries to go in. Reinforce has other plans, takes down Kib. So they did trade out on that chase down. The wall actually is going to keep their McCree safe too. So as you mentioned, not entirely stalling out the offense as they continue to roll on without having to use any ultimates. Winghaven is 25% away. Everyone else has their ult as well. Of course, in a meta like this, you want to keep big eyes on Morte as that resurrection can switch things out in a moment's notice.
Unfixed and Kib are both ready to go in. Soundbearer is going to be setting them up. Soundbearer comes in. Here comes Kib. To the back line he goes. Meets another Sound Barrier, but that is down. Still has 1 second left on Dragon Blade as Unfixed comes in over the top, takes out 2. But both Kib and Unfixed are down, and these DPS players out. This is going to be a little bit rough for REUNITED to keep the momentum going.
Now, Morte and Winghaven kind of in an island on their own. They would be better served to back out. Morte trying to keep his tank alive as he charges out, does give his life for it. There goes their second support as Cruz dives late there as well. So gonna have to wait on that for a full reset. And, you know, even if they push the cart non-stop to the end, well, they do get more time at the second point, but their time where they had an advantage earlier is slowly dwindling.
Alrighty, so offense moving forward once more. A lot of pressure here on Winghaven. It's going to be Rhine games here. Reinforced versus Winghaven. This is a golden opportunity for either Reinhardt to outperform the other, and we'll see which Reinhardt will come out on top, because that's the main determining factor when it comes to ults and resources here.
Yeah, it just veteran Reinhardt's finding both sides too, so this one is going to be a great mind game. Winghaven tries to make the read on Reinforce, he misses it. He does charge out Reinforce after the Earth Shatter hits though, so Winghaven, the better end of those Rhine games.
Still not bad for Munko to stay in there, take out Voltage in the back. Voltage, though, was able to land mostly clean up. Unfixed, looking for more. Bouncing Lucia around with the Pharaoh Rockets. Morte going to grab the res, and REUNITED should have enough momentum to get this to the next checkpoint. That
was like the most concise version of Rhine games we could ever hope for, though. They both tried to hit their Earth Shatter. Winghaven missed, and then he made up for it, whereas Reinforce hit his Earth Shatter and tried to charge in. Winghaven charged him out of it, too, so those were Rhine games 101. Take the class.
Alright, so take a look here. Tavik will have Dragon Blade up, but his team is dying all around, and Voltage continues to pick off, gets a 3K, moves it forward, and now for REUNITED, they're bringing it forward on the verge of saying a slightly quicker time here. We'll see if they can do that. Tavik holding back here, waiting for his team to respawn, will have Dragon Blade. If Tavik can land a good Dragon Blade here, it's actually going to be pretty much all evened up time-wise, Hex, so see if Tavik can do just that.
Yeah, we'll see where Unfixed tries to get with this barrage. It used to be you go back to the corner, but teams got pretty wise to that. You always get called out. Here comes the barrage down now into a Transcendence. Doesn't get much done. AKM takes out Unfixed for his efforts.
They don't get enough off of that Sound Bearer, as Tavik right now does go in the back line, takes out Morte with the Dragon Blade, prevents a resurrection from actually coming in, and that's going to be Cruz going into the pit of his own volition, but it's a good hold here from the side of Rogue. And now as far as Rogue is concerned, they're going to even up things time-wise, even if they lose the next fight.
Yeah, into the pit of despair did go Cruz. Unfixed does switch up. He's going to be on Zarya. No slouch on Zarya either, but apparently it just not getting enough out of the Pharah lately. Here comes a Deadeye.
Deadeye on the way from AKM. Takes out Voltage to start things out. Anytime REUNITED loses Voltage early, it's just rough. I mean, forget about everyone else. And losing anyone, period, is bad, but Voltage, with how much work he does on McCree, that's almost fatal to REUNITED and starting out a push.
Yeah, Voltage almost vacationing on McCree. He was like the McCree for a long time, then just started playing a whole host of different heroes, but still can bring it with his Peacekeeper if he must.
Earth Shatter from Reinforce sets up 2 kills. Voltage and Winghaven both hit the dirt, but Morte in there at the res. This fight is not over yet. Soundbearer coming in here from the defense there, not giving up. They're still pushing in. From Kib to the back line he goes. Death Blossom on the way, takes out 1 before falling in turn, as really, Rogue is not making this easy on REUNITED whatsoever.
No, this is a brawl and a half. Everyone is all over the place, blue and red mingling together, but it does look like the finishing touches are going to be put on by this Rogue team as Unco takes down Volskaya. There's a late charge, and Cruz does end up trading out a little bit. Unfixed still in there too, so it remains being super scrappy as they reinforce this push, but definitely on the side of Rogue there as they get the better half of that engagement. Unfixed with this Graviton is going to be the make or break all to this.
Yep, no longer in the Pharah on the Zarya. Graviton at the ready. Tavik is in the backline, ready to drop the Dragon Blade. Graviton versus Dragon Blade, who will reign supreme? Soundbearer out here from the offense. This is their last gasp. In comes the Transcendence, and here comes Tavik. Dragon Blade meets Deadeye. Deadeye wins. AKM, though, firing back 5v5 here on the point. Rogue moving forward, but will it be enough? Volskaya getting some very good cleanup, but Reinforce moving in for the backline. Earth Shatter in, but there's no follow-through.
How is Unco way back there? Well, how did the Zenyatta rotate all the way to the back line and get himself in that position? So Unco is somehow really far behind, kind of just indicative of how that push looked for Rogue, split up all over the place.
Remember, only 10 seconds remaining here. This is not a whole lot of time to work with. They're going to need, like, precious time just to get onto the payload on a second run, should they be able to get it. But AKM moving forward, able to take out 2. Winghaven taking out 2. And that's it. They are out of extra time. AKM coming in, gets a triple kill. And ladies and gentlemen, Rogue in the end able to hang on. They're going to take map number 2 away from Reunited. Reunited still has a 1-game advantage of 1-1 map in the series thus far. So overall series score 2-1. But good on Rogue, bringing it back.
Got herself a series. As you mentioned, Reunited still on set point, and next map choice will be theirs, so we'll see where they want to go to next. But a nice showing from Rogue here, saying not dead yet. Some nice switch-ups throughout this as well, and just, again, he's the one at the play of the game, but you cannot discount just the consistency you get out of AKM. You know exactly what he's going to provide on his McCree every single time, and that is invaluable in Overwatch. There are so few players who are so consistently at the same level, and AKM has been playing phenomenally lately.
Hex, do you see what Morte just wrote? He wrote...
Why?
He wrote the forbidden letters!
Why did he do that?
It was never supposed to be rewritten!
Why not? It's Reunited.
Volskaya Industries is coming right at you as our next map here in this best of 5 series. Oh my goodness.
You don't see this every day. This has been a very long time since I've seen a competitive Volskaya game. I'm actually 100% certain the last time I saw Volskaya competitively, it was Reunited, because that's just what Reunited does. That's how they roll. You know, honestly, the last time we saw them on here, their first defense looked really, really sketchy, and then they made super good adjustments. That's kind of what Reunited's MO is anyway. They can adjust pretty well. So a lot of defensive Junkrat was the theme the last time I was here, and this is a map that almost begs you to run a Symmetra because that reinforced distance is the longest of any map in the game.
The walk back on Volskaya is absolutely terrible, and wow, Winghaven even has to be the last to join, even as we change maps. Left the lobby, came back in. Thank you, Winghaven, for
kind of his
maintaining his reputation, really.
So interesting to see what we'll see coming out here. Could be super standard, but it does look, at least for the moment, that they are going to run that Trash Mouse.
Junkrat pretty darn good at denying common ways of entry here on Volskaya. You can put a trap here, for example, in this right doorway as they come in. If they go up there, kind of going to be destroyed. And while they're doing that, you can just spam down the other doorway. Lots of ways for Junkrat to be pretty darn effective, at least here on point A.
Yeah, good old Volskaya. Oddly enough, no Symmetra, no Mercy, so any death is going to be pretty much final here on the defense. It's one of the maps that, as I mentioned, you could always run a Symmetra on because the reinforced time is so long, but I think they're just not going to go super hard in on A, and they're going to defend and whatnot, but the real fight on some of these assault maps ends up being point B, Volskaya specifically. So no team running something really out of the ordinary. Looks pretty standard, but good to see Tavik back on the old Rubbish Raccoon.
Rubbish Raccoon, Trash Mouse, so many different ways of describing this hero, but take a look here at the offenses they're setting up here from the side of Reunited. It's going to be Cruz on the Lucio, Winghaven on the Reinhardt, Unfixed on Zarya, Kib on Genji, Morte going to be on Zen, and Voltage on what else but the McCree. We'll see just what Reunited has in store.
Yeah, his defense, nothing out of the ordinary. You've got AKM on McCree. Like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what Tavik can actually get done on this Junkrat, but a big rotation coming in. They're going to take this high ground away immediately, but someone steps in the trap. That is Valotaja. Tavik taking out half of the DPS core of REUNITED immediately.
Tavik spam completely on point. The trap and concussive mine right there. And there's, again, for REUNITED, there's very few higher value picks than taking out Volskaya right away, and Tavik is wreaking all sorts of havoc on this REUNITED backline. Spam for days, and he already has a Riptire up and one more shot.
It's not spam, it's tactical area denial. That's how you play Junkrat. Spam implies something that is unwanted, whereas those are tactical grenades.
Look, people eat spam. I've seen people buy cans of spam in the supermarket. They exist.
You have not.
I have! Here we go, though. Tavik has a Riptire here at the ready. And right now he's just not using it. He's waiting for the fight to devolve a little bit more. Sends Lucio on a ride. But once one or two people go down, he's going to back off and just look for the time to let it rip. But look at this. He's going on the cruise. Cruise in trouble. Somehow able to stay alive, but not for long. Backup does arrive, and this is going to be another hold here for Rogue.
Yeah, momentarily they are still holding. REUNITED, they're going to enter this ultimate phase of the game, so they're going to have probably Graviton, Transcend, and Soundberry up moving in, but since they've been losing most of these fights, they're going to be pushing in to ultimates as well. They might want to wait until maybe a tire comes out or something like that so they don't have to deal with it mid-push at the very least.
Alrighty, so Tavik still hanging on to that tire. AKM has Deadeye, knocks on the sound barrier. A lot of good ultimates right now up for the side of Rogue, and this fight might already be over here for REUNITED, barring a miracle. It's just too difficult to go into this many ults, but here they go. They open with the offensive sound barrier, and Fix is able to take out Reinforce. The Dream might be alive. In comes the Graviton, goes right in to the Transcendence, but the ult chains here for Rogue have not been the greatest. Still though, Wind's coming in from the back. Graviton at the ready, takes out two, and it doesn't matter that they're out of support ults because, Hex, they are going to win this fight.
Yeah, not even really that close either. A really nice trap early on from Tavik. He's throwing it on the corners of buildings, which is definitely the strategy to how to play that Junkrat. It's just hard to see those traps. That was what Unfix stepped in. He did not have the best life after that. The Graviton cleaned him up, wins again with that Zarya beam going huge. Tavik didn't even have to bust out his tire here, so he could use it for zoning, and only a minute and 20 left to finish this first point.
Alright, so Tavik holding on to that Riptire. And really, this is the final fight here for the offense. If this doesn't work, that's going to be it. And now I wonder, will this be the time for Riptire? Will Tavik let it go? And for now, he's just laying in the spam. But here comes the tire. This could end the game right here, right now. Here, tire on the way, and no, Morte takes it out right away. But while it's going on, Destruction allows Wins to get into the back, take out Cruz. It's a 65 for Rogue. And Rogue right now, way superior positioning, and REUNITED might have to back out. If they wait for the respawn, they'll at least be able to go in strong just a moment, but they're all in. Transcendence is out, and here comes Reinforce. Earthshot already, gonna drop it. Knocks down three. Big plays from Reinforce, sends Winghaven on a ride.
Too late.
But Kib moving in with the Dragon Blade, and he's really gonna be the hero while that was going on. Earthshatter not enough.
Reinforce got very caught up in his games against Winghaven as he was just waiting for Winghaven to drop his Earthshatter. Reinforce had himself a little bit out of position. He was able to counter Earthshatter, but it was too late. Did not get everyone, so that there was not a cleanup crew in there, and they were going to bust this out, cap the point towards the end there. So Reinforce definitely takes it as a personal offense when there's an opposing Reinhardt in his space. Maybe took it a little too personally.
Well, Unfixed right now with a good opportunity to make up for lost time, has Graviton at the ready. They will be basically trading out the Transcendence here, but not the worst idea. Unfixed moves in, there's a Graviton, sends everyone way up into the air, and immediately baits out the defensive Transcendence. So ult for ult being traded there, but still, Cruz able to get on AKM as REUNITED pushing it forward once more. Soundbearer for Soundbearer traded, support ult for support ult as they move in, but here comes the defensive Graviton.
Yeah, super back and forth. Wins trying to clean up here. He is supercharged on Zarya, doing a ton of damage. Unko takes out Kib, which is going to be really nice for them early on. AKM then contributes as well. This push is all but over for REUNITED as they try to get out. Winghaven on the escape. He's going to get hunted down by Unko, discorded and denied.
Alrighty, so that is going to be a hold here from Rogue. Rogue has to hold for 3 more minutes, but you take a look at the offense. Offense starting to get loaded for Bear. They might be down Sound Bearer, but they are going to have Transcendence for the next fight. They are going to have Dragon Blade and Deadeye. So Kib, this is where, you know, we've been a little bit light on Kib Heroics aside from the end of point A. Let's see if he can bring it in here for point B.
Yeah, it's definitely a big opportunity for Kib to flash that Dragon Blade. They're going to go the slow pusher up the elevator on the right side, so completely spotted out early. One of the things about Volskaya is you really can't sneak in. You're never going to catch the defense unawares. It's really hard to do so. They know exactly what angles you're coming from. So here comes the Deadeye. Everyone's going to back out, but it does make some nice room as Winghaven's going to take his spot on the point.
Kib right now just waiting for his monk to dive in. Does like diving into the back. Takes out AKM. Shuriken's on point. Gets a health pack. Blade is unleashed, but he goes right down. Tavik. Icicle is on point. Graviton is out though. 4 and Fix. Pulls in a whole lot of Rogue. Sets himself up for 2 kills. This battle is still underway as now it is Reunited taking the advantage.
Yeah, the tanks continue to clean up as Unfixed and Cruz are unopposed on the point. Tavik is going to ice block and come back to life. A nice wall is going to keep him alive, so they are stalling this out, and the more you can stall it out, the better it is for the defense. They trade a couple kills. That is super nice for them. Here comes the Dragon Blade.
Kib moving in, Dragon Blade. It's only 6 magic seconds now. Sound Barrier being his bane. Doesn't get nearly what he's looking for in that and is going to have to back out. Just imagine if he had 2 more seconds there, Hex.
I'd prefer not to. The Wins is going to have his ultimate up on the next push. He's going to have Graviton, as will Unfixed. So, yeah, Reunited running into a brick wall here. I'd imagine they try the next initiation with Cruz just right off the bat so that they have 2 pushes left in them, and Unfixed might get us all somewhere in there. That is a nice pick to open it up by Morte. We've been seeing Zenyatta's open fight strong all day today.
Well, with that early pick, Reunited has a big advantage. Winston going to lead the way. They're going to dive in with Abandon. They have 2 kills to begin with, and Kib diving right to the back line. Why not? Nothing can stop him. 3 kills here from Reunited, and this is going from bad to worse for Rogue. Rogue's going to have to hope they can just chain in spawns, but everyone is dead aside from Unco. Unco versus the world.
It's as bad as bad can be, and they have ultimates to really lock this out too. 53 seconds remaining in that time bank as Reunited does finally complete the map.
Score.
Alrighty, so take a look at the time here. Not a whole lot of time remaining at the end of that cap there for Reunited, but this isn't something that Rogue can feel great about because you think back to Hanamura earlier in the day, not in the series, but just way earlier in the day, where you had a very similar setup where they capped last with about 50 seconds remaining, and then Reunited was not able, or Rogue was not able to take last. And of course, then you had the series earlier today where they weren't even able to take first, but point is, Reunited pretty darn good at defense. Rogue cannot take anything for granted here.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because you look at Rogue and their recent history and their recent successes, and you'd be like, oh, these guys are kind of the kings of assault maps, right? That's what they've had their most success on. And then you just look at Reunited, and if you look at like their very long storied history, you're like, Reunited might be the kings of assault maps. They've had to play these so many times. So while it's a map that other teams may be confused by and you have the advantage as Rogue if you take them there, we've said it several times, not so much when it's against Reunited. These guys are about as schooled as it gets across every single map. Maybe not by choice, but this isn't their first rodeo on Volskaya.
Not in the least. Well, take a look here at the defense coming out. Will be Winghaven on the Reinhardt Unfixed. Also repping a Junkrat. Junkrat fans rejoice. Morte on the Zenyatta. Kib on Zarya. Voltaja on what else but McCree. And Cruz on Lucio. And I do feel like it's a good old days here, Hex, whereas Voltaja, all McCree, every McCree. Well, back into that meta.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, that's definitely Junkrat is something you want to run on the defense here. The offense is looking kind of interesting to me. I mean, Reinforcing Winds are going to be on their stand-old tanks. So that's going to be Reinhardt and Zarya. AKM, of course, will play McCree. Nox and Unco will be supporting, as always, on Lucio and Zenyatta. Tavik, for a moment, was on Soldier 76. Now is onto the Hanzo. So a lot of interesting picks here. I would have loved the 76. Hanzo is just as good.
Alrighty, so Voltage right now just laying in the poke to start things out. Offense though able to get through without eating too much in the way of poke, and Tavik laying in the arrows. This is where Hanzo, the magic can happen. 1 arrow, 1 kill can be a thing. Feast or Famine describes the name of the game right now for Rogue, and I would not underestimate Tavik in these situations because he hits Feast more often than Famine, and that Reinhardt shield's going to go down. And now Tavik looking for that pick.
A really odd fight so far. It's been taking place over the gulf of the points, but now they're kind of getting into close territory here as Reinforced gets on the point. Wins trying to bully out Unfixed. Tavik takes on Balotaja. That's a huge kill.
Finally, he gets what he's looking for. Puts a hole in that tire to start things out. And now, slowly but surely, Rogue is just dominating this point. They're getting what they need to get. Lucio's going to go down, and Tavik, nothing really flashy here, just eventually getting the kills he needs to get.
Yeah, so that is going to be first point in relatively easy fashion there. Kib takes the quick way out as he suicides off the edge, and now they are rolling here. Huge advantage for them as Kib comes up on a different hero, so zero alt charge on his Mei, but they're going to have Transcend, they're going to have Sound Barrier, they've got all the support ults in the world. I think they're just waiting for either their tanks or Tvik to get an ultimate too, so they can really solidify this last push.
So they're moving forward. Tvik still hanging on here on the Hanzo, about to have Dragon Strike at the ready. And here comes the Sound Bear from defense, or sorry, from the offense, moving it in, trying to take the last little bit here. Down goes Winston, in comes the Dragon Strike, and Rogue in for the kill right now. Reinforce about to drop an Earth Shatter.
Yeah, here comes the counter Transcend and the Earth Shatter, though. Really nice use of combinations, making it work out of the little resources that they had. Tvik is going to get a couple kills. It is so back and forth right now. Unko does pile on and grabs a couple of his own, but they're getting largely cleaned up. That's it. That's the push.
They're able to hold out, and Reunited getting themselves out of what was a very sticky, awful situation. In no small part due to the back of Volskaya landing in the poke he needed to get at the back line, but Winghaven certainly coming in there with good tank play as well.
Yeah, really nice stall out there. Kind of surprising that they were able to delay it. They got exactly what they needed out of their ultimates. The Zumiata came in late and gave Winghaven the confidence that he could be solo ulting and trying to get that Earth Shatter in, even though no one else was there with him. He knew he was not going to die at the very least. They did just that, able to get the cleanup on a couple kills. And like I said, the fights have to be extremely decisive for the offense. That's the nature of this map.
Alright, so wins right now. Does have Graviton Surge at the ready. Rogue once more taking another bite at the apple. AKM falling really early though, and they're down Nox, so already down 2 players is Reunited, and Volskaya and Unfixed going to clean up the rest. Volskaya once more just laying in the poke.
Another fight that is pretty much over before it starts, and now they're going to have a hard time pushing into the defense that they've stacked with ultimates. Unfixed, Kib, Volskaya all with ults. Morte will have it. Winghaven will have it. Cruz will have it. So a junk rush might be in order here, something to try to bait them out, or they can just believe that their 3 ults are going to beat the 6 of Reunited. Does not seem likely though, and you know, just the time bank continues to tick down. Still 4.5 minutes though.
All right, take a look at Volskaya. He has been the hero on the last 2 pushes, is standing in the back, way in the back in fact, but Transcendence going to stop him. Here comes the Deadeye. That's something that Transcendence is not going to stop, but he has to land the skull. And Rogue really just zoning it back. They do not fall to this. They counter with a Graviton of their own, pull in 3, and here comes Tvik. Gonna land the Blizzard. The weather report is out. Down goes Reinhardt here. And we'll see if this is the push that Rogue's been waiting for, but it's definitely looking good as AKM unopposed here in the back.
Volskaya and Kib, though, do come in, take down 2. Those are 2 deaths that they're not going to be in the fight anymore. There's no resurrection mechanic, no reinforced mechanic for this Rogue team. Cruz takes down Unko. Again, now they're down to 3. Can their 3 win against the 4 that are going to be reinforced with the other team? With the more respawning heroes? I really don't think so. That's it. That's the end of that push.
I gotta say again, this is what Reunited's been doing all day long, where they lose people early in a fight and they somehow bring it back.
Trade, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's part, I feel like Reunited playing well, but also part, I think Rogue might just be a little bit too over-aggro when they get their early picks. They can play this a little bit slower, realize they have advantage, just methodically take people out. When you dive in and expose yourself, it's not always the greatest idea, but either way, we do have Rogue setting up here once more. Reinforce, holding on to the Earth Shatter, and Earth Shatter is going to be the name of the game. They don't have a whole lot of ults in their favor. They will have to go up against opposing Earth Shatter, so we'll see if Reinforce can win the Rhine games as he moves into the point.
Well, Tvik is on the Soldier 76 now, and it's great. Unfixed just tried to get aggressive on the rest of his team, then switch targets, tried to get to Tvik, and he took him down immediately. So their plan is to just do sustained damage from the back of this fight. Really nice Transcend to counter this Blizzard is giving Rogue their best opportunity to cap this map out.
May right now standing up here, has to back off for the rest of the Blizzard. Here comes the Sound Bearer though, on the way from the defense. Only it's 2 people. There's not a whole lot of people left here. Kib fighting for his life, not gonna be enough. AKM on the double kill, looking for a little bit more. Graviton is out, Rogue is all in, and here comes the Deadeye. That's going to finish it out. 6 people on the point, and Volskaya, he's gonna try and delay, but don't think it's gonna be enough.
The Tracer delay. If he gets a kill, then we'll start talking for real. But for now, he's just on the delay. He dies immediately. Delay is long enough to let all of these alts come back in for Reunited. There is no way they can turn this back around, right?
Probably not. I mean, they are streaming onto a point. Cruz is able to get 1 pick off on the AK. Might have knocked him right over the edge. So, with that one pick, there's a little bit of hope, but the kill feed filling up with blue, and for the most part, this is just draining the time barrier from Reunited as Transcendence comes out in the end. And that's gonna be Reunited. Sorry, yeah, Rogue taking that with about a minute buffer. So they're a minute ahead of Reunited now, so
yeah,
it's good on Rogue, and we'll see how things go here, just going into the next side.
Super close with both of them under 2 minutes. That is difficult to even take the first point in under a minute, so we'll see if we see a defense or a push here. Anything could happen with these time banks as low as they are. And thanks to Blizzard for adjusting the assemble your heroes phase of this game. We're now actually just preparing our defenses. It used to be, that's what I remember of not liking assault maps, is when you went back and forth in time bank, it was like 5 minutes between halves.
It's definitely sped up a little bit more, but now this is coming right down to the wire, and we're going to see if the offense of Reunited can get in here in 1 minute. Effectively, this is the one push drill for them. If they fail the first push, that's it. They're not going to get a second crack at this. So really all or nothing here on this first attack, but if they get it and get a third point, they have a real chance of defending and actually winning Volskaya outright. So pretty much everything at stake here on this first attack.
Yeah, absolutely. It's even the time bank is so low that you might not even see ultimates come out now. Perhaps a Dragon Blade, perhaps a Pulse Bomb, because those charge quick enough. But they're gonna have to do it pretty vanilla here. So incoming here, it looks like nothing too out of the ordinary. Winghaven, it's going to be interesting to watch to see if they're going to go kind of a slower push or they're going to go more aggro. It's really going to depend on Winghaven's jump. Wow, first spam kill from Tavik takes down Voltaja. That's enormous.
Tavik able to get in there right away. Voltaja going down, and remember, this is the only push Reunited really gets here, so at least Voltaja can come back in quickly, but it's now a 6v5 in favor of Rogue, and Reunited has to be careful how they go in. Unfixed, to his credit, a lot of energy up for him. Not going to get a Graviton up anytime soon. Probably won't get it up in this fight, but will be doing a lot of damage for Azarius. Kib able to get to the back, takes out Tavik. Voltaja is rejoined here in the fight. It is 5v5 once more, but Rogue starting to get the kills they need. This is going to be awfully close.
Yeah, they do pile on a couple kills. There goes Morte as well. So it's just Voltaja and Cruz. That is asking a lot from those two. Although Kib does join in, he gets discorded and removed immediately from the Peacemaker of AKM, Peacekeeper rather. AKM continues to pile on, takes on the other DPS as well. It's desperation time, but none of it's looking real good.
AKM getting knocked to the side, but AKM was truly the hero there. Reminded me of AKM at LAN with just how clutch he was going into this. Got the kills he needed to get from the back line. Deadeye coming up in the end. Down goes Unfixed, and up goes Rogue, because Hex, we are coming down to the final map. Rogue has evened up the series 2-2. Or, I don't know, what am I saying here? I'm losing my mind. Technically, Reunite can still hold. I'm done.
Yeah, we'll see. Hey, time bank is difficult for all of us. I completely agree. I bought it for half a second. I'm like, maybe.
Yeah, like, it was so convincing. It's like, no, it's been a long day. We're on like hour 9.
Yeah. So if they do not hold, then it's going to be. I don't even know.
You're going full Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto now. Let me recall you here. Hopefully the Comcast Nation is not attacking.
Hopefully.
Sombra, 1, 2, 3. All right, game back, Hex back in here. Fixing the score. One of those days, man, one of those days. That said, Rogue is in an exceptionally good position right now. Uh-oh. I'm trying to get Hex back in here. It's forever ringing on Hex. Guys, I'm scared. Well, we'll see if Hex gets back in here in just a moment. 2 minutes left here for Rogue as they set up here on their attack. AKM saying sleep. It's pretty late here for the European side of things, but Winghaven says forfeit. Alright, well, we know where everyone's loyalties lie. Tavik right now moving in. Hanzo at the ready once more. Quick approach going in.
Unavailable.
Hex is clearly unavailable, as that notes there. The Skype co-cast, really the best co-cast. But now this is a really good look here for Rogue. Rogue's able to get up here to the high ground. They've gotten good poke thing to start things out. They're in a great position. They force Reunited back, and now all they need is one more pick to go with this, and Tavik in the best position to do that. Reunite on the hot seat. They must come over here and contest. But they're getting poked down like crazy. Kib having to back out. Unco able to take on Fix her first pick, and Rogue right now just 1 or 2 more kills away from evening up the series 2-2. Reunited getting some counter kills here, but it's not the greatest as Tavik still here on his perch. The point is still being capped, and Volskaya, he's been the hero a lot here today. I don't know if he's going to be the hero once more, as he is looking for it here. Deadeye is on the ready. Tavik looking to take him out, and Volskaya still alive, still in here. 30 HP, gets away. Oh my goodness, this could be a thing. Is going to be running right into the Zarya, running for his life once more, still getting healed, and Volskaya takes out Nox, so he's living, he's surviving. Only 35 seconds remaining now for Rogue. And after a rough start, Reunited might be fighting this back. Alright, recalling Hex here. I'm hoping Hex has returned. Alright, Hex, are you with us?
I think so. I hope so.
Are you in the game?
20 seconds left, and they are still holding.
They are, and it was a miracle there for Volskaya, how close he was to dying here. Deadeye comes out, takes down Tavik. And here comes Kib, Dragon Blade at the ready. 3 kills here for Reunited. And now I look even sillier from the end of last because it is going to be a hold, and we are going to go to a King of the Hill tiebreaker.
Yes, we are. It is a best of 3 King of the Hill tiebreaker. I'm trying to find out which one was the last one banned out. I believe it was Lijiang Tower as the latest
was
ban.
Lijiang.
So best of 3 Lijiang, here we come. No one likes a draw.
Yeah, but we still get to see it play the game. And no one's standing there at the very end.
Play of the match.
It's pretty fitting that Zarya will get the play of the match, though.
So I tried to call you back in the middle of it. It went to the Skype standard thing. And everyone is just saying that was Sombra.
I'm not saying we are involved in the Sombra arc, and I'm not saying we aren't involved. Just saying that people should be watching these casts very carefully.
Just watch it carefully. You never know.
You never know.
But by the way, how in God's name did Volskaya survive for as long as he was down to 30 HP for so long and didn't die? And that was a big reason as to why they were actually able to hold on there and why we're going to a tiebreaker. So I don't even know, man. This is what's happened to Hex, by the way. Hex has become modern art as a result of his internet dying.
Oh yeah, that's nice. I always wanted to be an artist. So yeah, we're gonna have to settle this one on a King of the Hill, and let us remind you that it is set point for Reunited here. If they win on Lijiang best of 3, they will win Volskaya and they will win the tournament.
Alrighty, so Reunited, they are in the driver's seat once more. They pull themselves out of a rough situation. But they still have to prove it here on Lijiang, as Morte says, 1 second.
Oh, everyone always needs a second. Well, while we have a second, I will just recommend to everyone to go to our Match Arena page. If you haven't already, they throw on your dollar. You know the deal. Check our new sponsor, Ting, gg.ting.com. See if it works for you. See if that's kind of phone you want to get. Some kind of plan helps you out, make you save some bucks. We're giving you a $25 credit, so it essentially pays your first bill if you're struggling and need that $25 on your phone bill. Who couldn't use it? And our friends at www.kings.com if you want to how to get into the Rhine games, how to have that deep mental understanding of different heroes. You just watch the pros content that they make at owkings.com. Coupon code GOSU will hook you up there as well.
Also, pray for Hex. He is getting hacked by Sombra right now. I mean, hopefully the worst of it is just that his internet connection is having issues, and not that she's stealing all of his personal info and selling it on the black market right now. Or, you know, relaying it to me where, you know, if you guys want some of Hex's secrets and other personal things, you guys know where to reach me. Just, you know, everyone has a price.
I'm a caster. Nothing is personal anymore. This is all just public life. It's just like, I can't keep anything secret or private anymore. It's too late.
I guess we could try here, Hex, if you... No, I was gonna say, if you want to try like rebooting or something real quick, just anything to fix the... I'll recall you, hang on. maybe that'll
Well,
fix it, because you are
reboot.
going full Mr. Destructoid right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna reboot. Be right back.
All right. Hex is gone. He will return one day. He's gonna reboot. He'll be back in. It won't be a solo cast. It will be a great time. But now, this is where the terrible realization comes in that I have to solo Phil. It's not great, let me tell you. And I know that some people might say that something crazy is going on right now, but personally, I think we're okay. And the next game should be interesting. Reunited versus Rogue, and what's going on there. Reunited, of course, they are on match point. I think Rogue, if you look at their map bans, they really did not want to play Lijiang, Nepal, or Ilios if they could help it, but because of tiebreaker rules, they are going to be stuck playing on it here, so one would think that if Reunited's good on playing those and Rogue doesn't like playing on it, they have some degree of edge, but you never can really count out Rogue and the deathmatch skill in that team. Tavik, of course, is Tavik, living legend in the Overwatch scene. And AKM, I mean, he's proven that in clutch situations he can really come out, keep his team alive, and go from there. What he did at Gamescom was incredible, and he can pull the same sort of shenanigans online, even though it feels like he was more likely to do it on LAN than online. I don't know if it's because people in person weren't quite moving as fluidly or what, but for AKM, definitely one of the more explosive players in the game. Hopefully Hex gets back here soon. I'm personally, I feel like I'm afraid or alone right now. People might say otherwise, but there is nothing out of the ordinary going on as we wait here. Bring Bastion back. Come on, guys. He was only part Omnic. He was like, you can't call him Bastion. He was Genji. Hex is actually Genji. It all makes sense now. All right, so we are just waiting here. I'm admiring my handiwork a little bit as we wait for Hex to get back in. But Reunited now potentially on the verge of winning it all. I mean, worst case, I'm not sure if Uber's still up. It's really late there. If Hex is suddenly just gone to the world, if he has died the Sombra, we could get Uber right back in. But for now, this is sort of the one-on-one. Me to the chat right now, talking about it in the middle of a great grand final. Hex, though, has returned. We're going to get Hex right back in here. Hex, how are you doing?
Hola, amigos. Doing great.
All right. We've dealt with it. We're good to go. We're getting Hex back in the game. We'll be ready.
Sweet.
Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing weird happened while you were gone.
I really don't believe you. The fact that you had to tell me that makes me very suspicious.
The fact that I had to mention that nothing out of the no, like absolutely nothing crazy happened. I don't know. There was no Sombra appearance. There's nothing like that.
Why do you make me watch VODs of my own cast now? Now I don't know what happened, and now it's gonna bug me. Oh, jeez. Good to be back with you, ZP.
It's good. It's awesome.
All right, so Lijiang best of 3. This is to decide Volskaya. If Reunited wins, that is it. That is set. That is tournament. They get the winner's spoils. So yeah, it's our tiebreak system. Doesn't happen very often, but the last couple times we've had to jump to these King of the Hills. I think it's a good way to do things. That is best of 3 Koth. And who do you have here? Do you think Rogue can pull it out because it's King of the Hill?
Rogue and King of the Hill, I mean, they clearly don't like playing on it.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
sort of the analysis going on there, is that they went out of their way to take out every King of the Hill map. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be bad at it. I was just talking about while you're gone is that they have a lot of mechanical skill on their team. You can never count them out, but clearly they have a reason as to why they really would prefer not. Now, part of it is probably their newfound love for 2CP maps and all the rest, but still, I feel like this is decent for Reunited, and this is best 2 out of 3. 2 rounds will win the tiebreaker, and if it's Reunited standing tall at the end, that is it. They will win it all, and they will be the winner of the newly revamped GosuGamer EU Weekly Cup.
Yeah, what a battle it has been between these two teams. It's nice that the GGEU Weekly and then our finals end up being Rogue and Reunited. So definitely the format is working for us to get these giant teams in here to compete against each other, and Tavik even fulfilling more of my dreams as it looks like he's going to run the Pharah.
All right, this has been a good day for Pharah fans, man. It's been a good day for a lot of fans. We've seen Mercy, we've seen Pharah, we've seen a lot of Mei. A lot of characters that have been not getting love have been showing their way in, but a lot of old favorites have been in as well, so signs of a healthy meta, to be sure, as AKM immediately taking out Kib to start out the game. So, Rogue coming in strong.
It's been a good and bad day for Pharah fans, because it's great to see her in it, but it necessarily hasn't been like Pharah's best day, right? People are running it, but it has not had the huge impact that it used to. Tvik right now in great position, though. This is a great stage to run Pharah on. It always has been. Even when she was nerfed to oblivion, then people would still run her on this stage, because that high ground is so important.
Volskaya though rolling right back in. Rogue has not been able to cap this just yet. Reinforcements from REUNITED are popping in, and Volskaya almost getting a huge pulse bomb there. I'm surprised it didn't kill more than it did. AKM going to the back line. And Kib still in this. As McCree is going to get to the big health just in time, and this has been quite the stall from REUNITED, though finally Rogue is able to cap the point.
Reinforced suicided on a kill. He types #worth. Totally agree with you. I think he took down Cruz there as they're having some banter back and forth, but that is finally a first cap for Rogue, and Tvik goes down really early in the re-engagement from REUNITED.
Kib absolutely laying in on McCree. Just when you think Volskaya is the McCree god here for REUNITED, Kib showing that he can bring it too. Winston in some trouble here, reinforcing all sorts of damage in the back, will go down to Volskaya, and here comes the Deadeye. Happy Little Skulls coming up. Down goes Unco, and this should flip for REUNITED here in just a moment.
Yeah, my biggest questions always with REUNITED have been questioning their versatility and if they can adjust to new metas and they can switch off things. It looks like Kib has been a great addition to this team because Volskaya has always been super versatile, right? He can run nearly every DPS hero. He doesn't run Pharah, but that's fine. They have Unfixed who runs Pharah as well. And now they have Kib, who they can pair with him, who seemingly has a pretty large hero pool, which is why they went with Kib over some of the other people they tried out, and it looks really good. They have been switching all over the place. I mentioned earlier, Winghaven on Winston's been great too. This REUNITED team answering a lot of questions for me today.
Graviton into Pulse Bomb, the bread and butter combo. Volskaya connects off of that Graviton setup, and that is a full decisive team wipe for REUNITED. Doesn't get any better than that. However, Rogue coming back in, it's only 36 to 36%, and they have the ult to turn this right back in their favor, so REUNITED can hardly rest easily.
Yeah, they've got the Graviton into whatever follow-up they want. Both Barrage and Pulse Bomb are available, so depending on which support ult comes out is which follow-up you would use offensively on that. Kib starts it off, takes on AKM, that Pulse Bomb now in spawn.
2 kills already here for REUNITED. Wins has not really found anything. Everyone from REUNITED has been so spread that he hasn't really been able to get a good Graviton target, and REUNITED just gonna take that as Wins looked a little bit confused as he walked in.
Yeah, Winghaven takes on Unco there too, so no resurrections yet this game, which is kind of a bad thing if you're running a Mercy. You wanted at least one resurrection probably up by now, but so far the combo has not been getting the value. It's not just this map, it is all game. So Tvik dead early, dies to Cruz somehow. I didn't even see that. Might have been a boop, but I don't know. Tvik dead. We'll see if they can finally nail this combo, but they're down to it. It's got to be this last fight. They got to clutch it.
This is effectively the last fight for Rogue. As you just mentioned, they must win this fight. Wins looking for the Graviton. Is going to pick up 2 this time. The follow-up is there. 2 down from the Graviton. Tvik over the top. Justice raining. And this is going all in favor of Rogue. They will retake this point, but it comes a little bit late for them. They're going to have to hold on now for 3, if not 4 fights. And REUNITED, this gives them time to build up ults. They're not in the greatest situation now, but they can do 1 or 2 junk rushes, maybe drain out a res, possibly. Just do some good things, and for REUNITED, they're definitely looking a little bit better than Rogue here, despite just losing the point.
Well, they do need to drain out a res at the very least, because Unco, if he stays alive in these fights, he's going to be able to just consistently bring them back to life. That is not how you want to start it. Winghaven a little bit too over-aggressive, gets punished by that Tracer play, so they're going to be able to continue to spam down this doorway. No great initiation options now from REUNITED. Your best initiation was Winghaven. He's dead. You have to wait for him.
Volskaya right now creeping around the backside, does have Pulse Bomb here at the ready. Soundbearer coming in here from the defensive Rogue. Soundbearer on both sides here, everyone dropping the beat. Tvik though about to drop the Justice perhaps, has his ult up, goes for the knockoff, doesn't quite get it. Unfixed falling right in, does it take him out? And will the res be coming in? No, will not. Unco has died, and this is a golden opportunity now for REUNITED.
Yeah, it really starts off nice for them as Wins and Nox continue to try to get some kills, but it is Cruz who shows up in the kill feed. They're on his Lucio. AKM trying to bring this back for his team, one of the only ones left alive on the point. It is 3v3 on the point right now as the fight continues, but some reinforcements come out for Rogue. A nice res comes in super late, should bring them up to full health.
Here comes the Graviton laying the fight. REUNITED following through. 4 or 5 kills here for REUNITED. They're going to flip this. And where's Reinforce? Reinforce, the last one, the point, going to fall. Dramatic death for Winston. And that is going to be round 1 to Reunited. 1 round away now from winning it all.
You know that I love Pharah. I love her a great deal. I think the meta's better when she's in it. I think there's no better play in Overwatch than a long-range mid-air rocket on an opposing Pharah. But tonight and today, teams who have run her have simply just struggled with it. And the longer they've waited to change, the worse it's been for them. Lucky for Rogue that they change right now. I hope that they get it figured out Pharah-wise and that we get to see more Pharah, but it has just not been the story today. Tavik is going to come up on Tracer instead. The Pharah dream, for now, is dead.
And that's interesting because there were times where we just saw Pharah on this stage as well. So it's one of those things where maybe teams are more willing to play Pharah, but she's still situational, not the everyday powerhouse. But that's okay. So unless heroes are being used, I think it's fine.
Yeah, totally.
All right, so Tavik right now rolling right in here on the Tracer. UK Summer Games skin at the Ray, but Voltage taking out AKM, Tavik firing right back, both Tracers striking first blood, and Tavik in the backline, absolutely nothing on him right now, in a great position, able to take out Unfixed, and that's going to lead the way for Rogue, cleaning up even more as Rogue will take first cap here on the Garden.
He had no business living through that fight. That was 3v1, they hard focused Tavik. He had a Discord orb on him too, and they all just licked their chops, jumped in on him, got a really nice allied shield out of wins there to keep himself alive, and then just dealt so much damage, cleaned up everyone who tried to end his life.
Pulse Bomb coming out here from Tavik. Voltage, though, getting right in, has taken out Reinforce. And this is dangerous. This is where Voltage can really excel. He's done this time and time again where he's under a lot of poke, but moves in. And right now, no one's even on him, and he's just laying in the damage. Wins, just getting slowly poked to death. The world's deadliest mosquito. I'm going to Winghaven. The support ult is out, and maybe Rogue will be able to restabilize off these support ults, but still a decent effort here by Voltage. But the Graviton comes in late from Wins, and that will get the final cleanup.
Yeah, that ends that fight pretty quickly. Tavik taking a page out of his old teammate Mendo's book. Big on the chase, takes down Morte. So this is where Tracer earns her bread and butter on this map. Right outside of the spawn being super annoying. You can always get out of there alive. This is a stage that I always associate with a phenomenal Tracer play. Tavik doing his best impression.
Goes back to the good old days where Mendo was unstoppable.
Yeah.
Of course, haven't seen Mendo in comp for a really long time. But here comes Cruz, breaking it down. Offensive Reunited on the way. Kib, though, was not a recipient of that sound barrier. Had the back out right away. 5v5 right now on the point, and Rogue doing a good job of beating this back once more. Voltage still looking for the poke off, but just not getting it as Rogue being unassailable right now. 70%, and things are not looking great right now for Reunited. A lot's going to be on Unfixed landing a good Graviton.
They haven't had any good entry here, and Morte died yet again there from some spam, so that is a rough start to whatever fight they wanted to go into. They haven't been able to get over bridge. They haven't tried to go through pack room. They've been trying to bum rush this bridge. Maybe go over the top, go center here. They just have not been able. They've been on this side of the map for the last 5 minutes.
Unfixed right now, moving up, has Graviton here and at the ready. Graviton comes in, pulls in 2, pulls in 3. Voltage there at the fall through, not a pulse bomb, just normal left clicking. And we'll see if it's enough. 2 kills come out here for Reunited, and Hex, even if they cap it here, they're going to have to hold on for the entirety of the game, or of the round, if they want to win this round.
Yeah, but they finally just get a little notion of space, get some entry there too. So yeah, they do grab it. Had to use every ult they had available there to be able to do so. Now Rogue is going to be pushing in with some ults of their own, but this is a map that you can defend from 99 to 100 to try to get all the way from 0 to a cap point, because like I said, entry is very difficult on this map. They're going to come over bridge, not being opposed as hard as Reunited was opposed.
Soundbearer's out here, Rogue out for the kill once more. Big ult advantage as they roll in. Wins looking for the opportunity to drop a Graviton. Hasn't really been able to find out just as Voltage gets the double pulse bomb. Huge pick off coming in from him, and he's going to look for a little bit more right now. Still though, both teams down 2. Reinforce able to get to the big health. Voltage overdiving a little bit, needs to back off. But overall, Reunited, this is looking good for them.
I have no idea how Voltage lived there yet again. These Tracers are just pulling magic tricks out of their hat there. He was dead to rights. They even called in Tavik on his Tracer to be able to deal with Voltage, who was pressuring the Winston in the backline. Voltage rewinds, blinks, double blinks away, and he's out. And still the pressure remains that they are unable to get in here. They're now going to have to be pushing into some ultimates. Big Bang combo available for Reunited.
Take a look at Reunited. Unfixed does have Graviton at the ready. Gemby looking for the Graviton. Pulls in at least 3. Voltage coming in from the back. Blows up 2. Nice and easy is the wombo combo coming in, and Voltasha diving even deeper. We must go deeper, making Leonardo DiCaprio proud, but does not go quite so deep as it kills in. He was trying, though.
We are about one fight away from this tournament ending and Reunited pulling it all the way back, because if they win this stage, they win the map, they win this tournament 86%. It is up to Rogue to make something happen here. Here comes
Kib diving right in. Death Blossom, though, gets absolutely nothing done. Transcendence ruining Kib's day. Transcendence is out for both sides, though. And let's take a look at Winghaven. Primal Rage out. Did he just knocked on Zen off the cliff? I'm not sure. I think Zen might have landed. He went for a ride either way, but Winghaven able to take out wins. 2 kills here from the side of Reunited. They are on the verge right now, Hex. They just need a little bit more. Unco, though, and Nox coming right in. Rogue not going down without a fight. Their tournament life is on the line. Volataja still darting around. Reinforce, super low. Goes into his bubble. Not enough. And this is so incredibly close.
The supports say not today, as Unco and Nox decide that yes, we do have weapons, we heal mostly, but if we team up, we can do enough damage as well. They were rolling in this little 2-man squad, just picking out targets, and they did so one after one, able to take down 3 there. The Zenyatta and Lucio, by our powers combined, can save that point 1-1 headed into stage 3.
All right, so it's all going to come down to this. It will be settled on the night market. Rogue, will you stay alive in the tournament or will you go away? You're going to have to win this round if you want the former.
Yeah, we'll see what night market is. I think they also definitely learned their lesson on Pharah. This isn't a terrible Pharah map, but I don't know. Every time teams run Pharah today, it's been not to their benefit. Does Tavik run out with this Hanzo? Hanzo's decent on this map as well, and definitely just more decent in the meta. For the moment, he is staying on the Shimada. Tavik taking chances.
And this is interesting. You don't see Hanzo come out all that often here in Kingdom Hill. Might be a sign of things to come with the changes that just recently hit the game. As Tavik right now laying in the arrows, looking for his chance. Turning attention over here, and again, 1 arrow can change the course of everything. Widowmaker has a single kill, can change everything. Well, same goes for Hanzo, as Wins is able to take out Unfixed early on. 65 opportunity here for Rogue. Reinforce piling on, but here comes Kib. Kib's still alive, still in good HP, but his team is dying all around him, X, and it's looking like it's going to go the way of the Rogue.
Yeah, definitely with the big advantage there as they take down Cruz late. Kib does go for the suicide. Tavik actually nailed a couple really nice arrows there as he's already at 71%. Look at AKM's charge as well, already at about 90. So those are the giant damage dealers in that fight, and they comfortably take that first point. Now they want to bait out a fight into the courtyard, into the wide open areas.
All right, so both teams are getting set here. The Dragon, though, is ready. The Dragon is hungry. Dragon hasn't eaten in about 3 days, and Tavik able to take out Winghaven to start this out. Might not even have the Dragon coming out yet.
Yeah, nice kill early on Winghaven. There goes Valor too. So it is 6v4 to start this fight. And yeah, they've decided this fight's over. That is a speed boost out of there from Cruz. They decided we've had enough. Let's wait for we get our 2 back. Already going to be down 50% though, but a decent retreat, so at least they didn't feed any more. Now they're so even-ish on ultimates.
This is starting to get grim here for Reunited. They only have about 3 more good pushes left. This is one of them. They roll right in here with the Transcendence. Have yet to get a kill off of it. And here comes the counter support ult here from the side of Rogue. Both teams back and forth. Voltage almost dying early on here. Tavik shoots Winston out of the sky with the hunting arrow. And here comes Graviton from the side of Reunited. Kib able to get the fall through. Death Blossom kills 3, and Reunited gonna grab this.
Super nice cleanup there from Kib. Now they are going to have to deal with the remaining ultimates. That Dragon has still not come out from Tavik, and it is the most unstoppable, unplay-aroundable combo in the game. Graviton into Dragon. No shields will help you. I guess Transcend actually complete it, but Morte about 80% away from that.
So, this is not the worst here for Reunited. They're going to have to hold on for a while, but Tavik coming in, almost gets poked down immediately. Graviton is out from Wins, pulls in 2. Not sure he's going to get the kill there. In comes the Dragon. The Dragon is hungry, and it is sated. Double kill here from Tavik. Graviton into Dragon Strike. But you take a look, Voltage is still in and around, but just not enough health to actually stay alive.
No, they bring it right back, 75. It's going to be difficult for Reunited to get good positioning here to try to contest this last point, and it looks like, for the moment at least, that Rogue is going to win this tiebreaker, and we're going to have more Overwatch. The never-ending tournament, as chat says.
This is where Volskaya can get a huge pulse bomb. He's done it before. Pressure is on the line. This is a must-win situation for REUNITED. Unfix is down. The pulse bomb is in. Does stick, but does not get the kill. Did not quite go as he wanted, and he's going to die the Unco. Things going from bad to worse here as the Earth Shatter will seal the deal. Rogue looking strong here in the last point. Morte buying some time as a lonely Zumyata.
Well, that's all you can hope for, is to try to buy some time. AKM does kill Morte at the end. Here comes more time. Winghaven with the kill, though. That's all it takes to start bringing it back. You start showing up the left side of the kill feed, but everyone now making an appearance on the right side of the kill feed, including Kib later on here as he's discorded and Ghostbuster down. Rogue bringing it back.
Rogue able to win the tiebreaker, so it is going to go to our 5th and final map, which I believe... Let me double check here. I think it's Temple of Anubis, or am I crazy? No, it's not Temple of Anubis. It was a pool of 4, not pool of 5, so... We played King's Row. I think it's Route 66.
I had to restart. My draft is gone. It's in the wind, so I will trust you on that. I'm sure the teams have a pretty good record of it. If only Complexity were playing. Hardblue keeps better notes than
I mean, if the teams don't have a good record of it, chat, everyone is witness here. The last map was actually Eichenwald.
It's true.
You can't prove it otherwise. It was clearly Eichenwald. Can you imagine if it was? What a great way of ending the tournament. Ending it on the brand new map. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I saw a bit of Eichenwald earlier today. Yeah, but it should be Route 66, which I would definitely favor REUNITED on. Again, it's one of those outlier goofy maps, but I've seen REUNITED on it a lot because they play outlier goofy maps a lot, all over the place, all the time. And wasn't it REUNITED who bodied Envious on this map?
It was. REUNITED was the sole reason why Envy banned that map from basically for 3 months straight. And I still think they're not fans of it, so they absolutely got in Envy's head on this map. And when you can get a team as good as Envy, when you can get in their head because of how well you played on the map, it's pretty good. Tavik says it would be a REUNITED final without going to 5 maps. And this is where I kind of want to be like, well, there is one other aspect to a REUNITED final, Kappa. Hopefully, I'm like subtly rooting for REUNITED here, just because they always get to this point and then they struggle finishing the deal. So if they were actually able to finish it out here on Route 66, I feel like it'd be a big step forward for them. For those who might not know, REUNITED has by far probably, and this record probably won't be touched for years, if ever, the most second place finishes in Overwatch history. It's not even close. They have something probably like 5 to 6 times the amount of second place finishes as the next team. It's actually insane. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's both good and bad, and it may sound like we're taking the piss out of REUNITED, but we've cast these guys forever, and they're a staple. They're a constant great team, and we do kind of like, you can't help but like kind of root for them because they've always finished second, and they would tell you that too. They know exactly what they are, but it's kind of the old Buffalo Bills thing too. Is like, you're still a great team because you're clearly good enough to get to the finals. That's amazing.
Oh, man.
But
I mean, it is true that at one point they were making Super Bowls a whole lot, but I can't. It's hard to think that there's any sort of favorable comparison to the Buffalo Bills. No offense to any Buffalo Bills fans that might be in chat. You guys are fans of that team. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not just saying it for no reason.
The good old Razor Cakes. Razor Cake Buffalo Bills. Every year they feed you cake. Every year you think there's not going to be a razor buried in it. Every year there is. So yeah, REUNITED, they're a phenomenal team, and we take nothing away from them. I've been really impressed with them today, just how they're playing. I've always questioned their versatility, but they show me a lot today. Look really good. So they have a chance to win it out, and it's no stranger that they get called that they're going to be in the finals. They will make the finals. They are always that good, but can they win a finals? Can they beat this Rogue team?
We will just have to see. The stage has been set. In 15 seconds, the gates will be opening, but taking a look at what they're going to be facing when those gates open, the REUNITED defense is set. It's going to be Morte on the Mercy, Volskaya on McCree, Winghaven on Reinhardt, Cruz on Lucio, Unfixed on Pharah, and Kib going to be the final piece here on the Genji.
All right, some more Pharah in action, this time on the defense, which is an interesting look. Offensively, Wins and Reinforce will play the tanks on Winston and Reinhardt respectively. AKM and Tavik will be the DPS duo. McCree and Genji. Supports will be Nox and Unco on Lucio and Zenyatta.
All right, so offense moving right forward. The defense, of course, on top of Big Earls, hiding out behind the Reinhardt. They're going to make the offense try and bring it to them first, and that is where the defense has a period of advantage where they can use their positioning to get off the first pick. But here comes Wins, diving right as Winston is going to push them back, eats a lot of poke, has to back out, but it's not a bad engage here from Rogue. AKM able to get the first pick off on the Cruz. Moving forward, a double kill for AKM, and this is Rogue coming in strong as AKM finishes out the triple.
Yeah, it's both supports down. Unfix is going to try to do something just to get some trades. Takes down Unco, but it is way too late for that to matter at all. AKM really just obliterating the back line with that McCree. See, McCree's great at crushing your back line without even having to go near your back line. Takes down both supports early on in the fight. That was all she wrote. A very quick first cap for this offensive team.
All right, so you take a look here at the defense. What can they pin their hopes and dreams on? Well, they do have a Deadeye coming up. They have a Dragon Blade on the way. Unfix is able to take out Wins, so Rogue, not necessarily with the most momentum for winning as decisively they did. Skull's coming up here from Voltage, waiting for the Winston shield to go down. Not going to find his opportunity to shoot it, though, and that's going to be it.
Yeah, so it's kind of stalled out a little bit here as they go for the slow push now, and now it is going to be a little more stalled out. Here comes the High Noon, gets very little out of it, not even cracking a shield. It looks like they're going to sound barrier here to try to push this offense in, but being collapsed upon by the defense, but getting all of the kills. Unco showing up big, taking down tanks. That is 5-1. Here comes the res, though.
The res does come in. That's going to restart this fight. Kib has the Dragon Blade, pulls it out, laying the fight. Going to run into the Transcendence. Not what he's looking for. Going to AKM. AKM versus Kib. Here in the corner, Kib gives him the slip move. Is going to get out there without dying as Tavik in the back line picks up 2. Looking for a little bit more. 3 kills here for the Rogue side. They endure the resurrection, and they are still bringing it to Reunited.
Yeah, they are flying. Sans that one fight that they lost pretty inexplicably there. Now Tavik is going to be in great position to watch this reinforcement path. It is so hard to come back on this map and stop. Like, Route 66 is one of those maps that once you lose a point, you have to really decide, like, can we even fight over this next point? Because you have the option of coming through these tiny hallways against a coordinated professional team. It's not ideal.
Winston right now leaping in. Soundbear coming in. Here comes the Earth Shot from Reinforced. So knocks down at least 2. Sets up the double kill. Gonna go for the charge at the end, but here comes Unfix and Morte firing right back. 3 kills here for Reunited. Kib still alive at 1 HP. How much can he possibly do here? He needs to go for the big health. Is gonna go for the big health, but will he get back to this fight? Might just do that.
Yeah, they're stalling out a little bit. Kib does take down Unco, which is nice for them, and now Winghaven and Cruz are going to try to stall out even more. They are taking the fight without having the numbers in their favor, and they will get cleaned up here, you would think. AKM's got the Deadeye up, trying to wait for a target. Does take down 1. Tavik with the cleanup as well. That should be second point. They are continuing to pile on. That's largely because the last point is so far away.
Tavik with the stylish double kill there towards the end. This is a great time being set right now by Rogue. They've certainly come here to play, and Reunited, they need to get at least maybe 2-3 team wipes here to feel comfortable, because if Rogue just rolls this all the way to the end, this might be a nearly unbeatable time, especially for Route 66.
Yeah, so they are going to continue to push forward. Here comes a sound barrier from the offense, trying to get something out of it, but if that kill feed does not light up red, it was a waste. Nox does take down Unfix. AKM with Voltage is the next kill.
AKM able to take down Voltage. Nox moving forward. 3 kills here. 4 kills now coming in from the side of Rogue. They're going to keep things going, and this is just going from bad to worse.
They absolutely needed that, though. A sound barrier is always a thing of, like, we need to watch to see if they get anything out of it, especially when they're used offensively. Generally a defensively minded ultimate ability, but they wanted to take the fight to him. Did get 2 kills off of it, which is pretty nice, but still a decent way to go to finish out this map.
So Rogue right now moving in, a lot of pressure on their side. Kib, though, does have Dragon Blade. Eats a lot of poke early on here. He is going to pull it out, though. Transcendence healing him up immediately. Into the backline he goes, but AKM stops him in his tracks. A double kill from AKM. He's taking out both big DPS players for the side of Reunited. Deadeye coming out late in the fight. So many skulls. Takes out Unfixed in the end. Has to sell for just 1, but that might be enough. But look at that charge at the very end, putting it into his reign of terror. But Tavik picking up where he left off, a double from Tavik, and he's not done yet.
Yeah, they're staggering their DPS ultimates in a godlike manner. The High Noon comes off, takes out 1, and then just when they think they're safe, here comes the Dragon Blade from Tavik as he is able to take down 2, continuing on the damage. The reinforcements are going to be very fast for the defense, though, so a nice second sound barrier from Nox. Oh, huge Earth Shatter.
Unco able to take out Unfixed. Rogue still applying the pressure. Voltaja in the back right now, trying to be the hero. His team is dead all around him. Tavik diving right in. The kill feed filling up with red. Rogue on the verge of saying a pretty decent time right now as Tavik makes it a triple kill at the very end. Tavik just exploding towards the end of this game. Dragon Blade will be the finisher. Slices Winston right in half. There's nothing that scientist could do.
Tavik with a great game, as did AKM. We give the DPS a lot of love, but I want to shout out to Nox there too, who got a second sound barrier up in that decisive fight. They started it off with a sound barrier, really nice going for them, but he did so much during that fight that he was able to close it out with a second sound barrier too. Good on the Lucio there, and as you mentioned, a pretty fast time. This is a map that some teams don't finish either. We've seen first point holds on this map in several different tournaments, so that is putting a lot of the pressure back onto REUNITED.
For REUNITED, this is not an unbeatable time. They can come back and finish the map sooner, but pressure is the right word here, where, again, I think the other thing that must be going through their heads a little bit, REUNITED has a history of finishing second in tournaments, and on some level, how is this mentally not in their head right now, where Rogue was able to get through Route 66 pretty decently there? And again, for REUNITED, we'll see if they can come out with a blazingly fast offense, but if I had to guess what team is going to win the series now, I have to lean more towards Rogue.
Yeah, as soon as I went to a game 5, you have to. It's just kind of the history of these teams. And yes, it has to be in their head. You can't play as many games as REUNITED has played and take second as many times as REUNITED has taken second and have it not be in your head. That would be inhuman of them. Now, we all hope that they get over it and they become like the #1 team. Being the second best team is, while it's great, it somehow just feels lacking at a certain point. And it has become the kind of mantra that goes with REUNITED. Now, they're great enough to always take second, but yeah, Rogue looked pretty good there. And can they get over this mental block? This is their map choice. They chose to come here. REUNITED should be good at this map. We'll see what they can bust out here on their offense. Nothing too out of the ordinary from them. Kib runs a really nice Genji. He's going to be on that. They're going to run triple DPS here. Okay, so they're going to run double DPS here. Kib changes the last second to a Roadhog.
Alrighty, so offense of REUNITED now on the way. Unfix, we'll see if he wants to go to the backline. Unfix, though, not quite as aggressive as some other DPS we know. Like, he's not usually going to pull the full Shadow Burn and be like, hi, I'm in your backline for basically no reason, or a Hard Blue or anything like that. He's going to stick around a little bit more with REUNITED here. If anyone's going to go crazy flanking, it's Kib. But REUNITED, they're taking their time, being methodical about this first push. Wins, though, not really taking his time at all, diving right in the REUNITED. Almost gets punished for it, but it bought Rogue a little bit more space.
An interesting defense here is they're all kind of spread out, not really favoring the high ground at all. Of course, AKM will be up there. AKM takes down Voltaja. That's a nice pick for McCree to not have to worry about your opposing McCree. Unfixed does chime in, takes down Wins in turn. 5v5 still going on here, but Reinforced takes down his other number, and Winghaven knocks.
Knocks the boops. Boops for days. Knocks both Kib and Cruz off the cliff. No heroics. Oh my god, Unfixed, goodbye! Alright, so Nox, oh man.
Hey,
well, what more can you say about that? Built a sound barrier off of that, and now big old advantage for Rogue going into the next fight.
Yeah, Gamesman credit last game just for his sound barrier, but he's been playing really well here. And Nox is always a player that you want to highlight because he did take a chance coming over to this Rogue roster. There's some other roster disputes and things like that, but it has worked out for Nox in the end.
Alright, so Tavik right now has Dragon Blade here at the ready, looking for his opportunity to drop it. Sound barrier coming in here from the defense. And this is rough here for REUNITED. They don't have a lot to deal with it, but Winghaven drops the hammer. Will be enough. Sends a Voltaja for at least one. In comes the late sound barrier from the offense, and as long as Voltaja is alive, there's a will, there's a way. Cruz able to take out Reinforce.
Yeah, getting very scrappy down here. They're trading back and forth. Wins taking on Voltage is really nice for them. Makes it a 3-on-3, so now they have a chance. Kib is going to come in with his whole hog. Take down Wins, though, too, opening up a ton of space. The reinforcement for the defense is going to be brutal, but Nox shows up again. Nox and Tavik to add a couple kills of their own. They were not done. This defense is not over yet.
No, not in the least. They're still chaining right in. Dragon Blade at the ready once more for Tavik, and he's going around the back, literally through the back door right now. Decides to come back the other way. But he has the option here. There are multiple approaches here for Tavik, whether he wants to flank or coming through the front. His team is reassembling all around him. And really, all that the defense has to worry about here is Unfixed, but Unfixed is hardly in the greatest position. Grauton coming in, Tavik diving in. He's not even going for the Dragon Blade, just right-clicks to the back as AKM gets the fall through on that Deadeye.
That was a huge graviton, and then you look at it, and it's just Tavik standing in there like he's photobombing a family reunion or something. One of these things is not like the other. It's just Tavik in the back line slapping everyone on the back. Does enough damage that AKM can get in there and clean it up. It is a minute left for them to take this first point, or that's going to be Rogue taking the tournament.
Reunited in an awful position right now. Rogue about to complete the comeback. They were down so much in the series, and yet they might have fought their way back. Transcendence coming out here from Reunited. Unfix has Death Blossom at the ready. Will there be a hero moment? Goes right into the Death Blossom. Gets immediately bopped by AKM. 2 kills here from Rogue. And Rogue, if they win this fight, Hex, they're that much closer to living the dream. It's going to be a last-ditch Hail Mary effort now coming out from Reunited if they want to somehow bring this back.
I mean, what can they bank on here? Winghaven, Cruz should have their ults in this fight. During the next fight, maybe Volskaya could start it off with a Deadeye. All of those need to connect. All of those have to have value. Not a whole lot for Rogue on the defensive side, but yeah, this is it. Reunited or bust.
Tournament life on the line here. Reunited must leave it all in. Winston opening up with Engage, gets discorded, has to back out. Both teams still full. Cruz takes down Tavik. Big opening here for Reunited. They're not done yet. AKM under pressure on the top. Here comes Kib. Dragon Blade at the ready. Reunited just needs a little bit more. It's an overtime. They can't neglect the card. But Kib has gotten the kills he needs. Moves that backline. Zen going the fall. And Reunited, just a little bit of life still in them yet here, Hex.
Yeah, a little bit of life for sure. You know, taking down Tavik really early in that fight was nice. Super good target prioritization as he got discorded and isolated very early in that fight. They didn't even have to use the Earthshatter from Winghaven. McCruz did bust out his sound barrier there too, so life remains. One of the problems is though is because they took so long, they're gonna have to constantly stay on this card. There's gonna be overtime here before you know it.
There's not much time here for Reunited. There's no other way of saying it, but every fight must go their way. Even a single one-team fight here for Rogue is going to benefit. Here comes the Earthshatter from Winghaven. Didn't get as much as he's looking for there. Did knock down Tavik, there was just no follow-through. Here comes Dragon Blade into the back line, but the hook! Kim says no way! Put the sword down. 3 extra kills coming in here from Reunited. And Hex, the dream is still alive. Is this the victory march now for Reunited?
That was some of the smartest play you'll ever see out of a Reinhardt. You mentioned the Earthshatter and there was no follow-up. The reason being, AKM had his Deadeye up. He was targeting everyone down. Had Winghaven gone for a Fire Strike, gone for a charge, his whole team would have been murked by that McCree who had top ground. So he did not get greedy. He got the Earthshatter. He knew they could not follow it up. Super smart play by Winghaven, keeping that shield up, keeping his team alive.
All right, I'm looking at Volskaya right now. Good position here in the back, looking for free skulls. Skulls coming up. Reinhardt shield still up and a thing. Wins takes down Cruz early on, so now Reunited have to do the 65. They're down to Lucio. AKM is almost dead. It's a decent death to start with. AKM, though, is still alive. Takes out Volskaya, comes right back into the fight. 4 kills here from Rogue, and Hex, Rogue has done it. They are your weekly champions. They brought it all the way back. And unfortunately for Reunited returning to a place that they've been many a time before. They're going to have to settle for second.
It almost feels bad, man, like even watching it. But, you know, not super surprising. If we looked at this bracket today and you looked at everything that's happened in the last month, you'd say Rogue should win this tournament. And it took them a long while to get there. And even if you looked at the bracket, you would have looked at it and said, Reunited should take second in this tournament. And that's exactly what happened. I think it's got to be in their head a little bit. But you know what? You keep piling up these second places. You're still always a top 3 Overwatch team in EU. So it's hard to feel bad for them, but I still kind of feel bad for them.
I like the part where Nox stayed in the game to see the 3 boop and then actually just got robbed by Mercy.
It's true. Nox did hang around to see play of the game and he didn't even get it.
I mean, really, the real criminal here is Morte. Morte should have left the game. Let's be honest here. But in all seriousness, really good effort for both teams. Made for some amazing games. Rogue, though, able to edge it out in the end. Big congratulations to them. And, I mean, just good stuff all in general. We saw good games all throughout the course of the day.
Yeah, the weeklies are back in a big way. Tell your friends. Tune in tomorrow. We're going to be doing this for a while again. New format looks really good. Exclamation point poll. We'll let you tell us what you think of that. But for me, like you said, we had all great games all throughout the day. It looked awesome. I'm just super happy that the weeklies are back and that we're able to give out some money to these top teams thanks to our sponsors, Match Reno, Ting, and OWKings.com. You've heard my spiel today. You know how to get good deals through those guys. Generally, the coupon codes which is GoSu, so hook them up too. Thank you everyone for watching. It's been a phenomenal day, and the best thing is we get to do it again tomorrow.
Absolutely. So Hex, any final sellout shout outs, anything you want to say towards the end? I think you just covered most of it. I'll go out of my way to say I'll do my sellout shout outs first, but follow me Twitter at TempoZP. Follow your favorite casters on Twitter is one of the best ways of showing support. Big shout outs to Uber, of course, who was casting with us throughout the day. Twitter at Uber Shouts. Give him a follow because he's awesome. And Hex, it's great to be casting with you again. Was awesome.
Totally
Anything
agree.
else?
And yeah, I just want to shout out to Uber again. Uber Shouts on Twitter. Hopefully he'll be back and hanging out with us because it was a great day. He was awesome to bring in. You and I have talked off stream about how much we just love Uber's casting. So it was really cool to bring him in here. On Twitter, I'm Hexagrams. On Twitch TV, I'm Hexagrams. That's it. And we'll see you tomorrow. You better be here.
All right. Sounds good. We'll see you guys. Catch you next.